Okay, let's get started.
Just raise your glasses high. This one's
Okay. My name is Riley Hamilton, as always.
And Amy Scarlotta. Here we are yet again.
And this looks really good. There's
solid.
There's a candle blowing in the wind.
Martha took a shit on the rug before you got here, so I had to light up the candle.
Oh, really?
I stepped on it.
Oh my God, why did she do that?
She's a freak.
Does she not?
Sometimes she goes out of the box. Her kidney disease sometimes makes them constipated, but she's on Miralax for that, and she took a nice one in the box, but sometimes there's residual, and she'll just do it wherever she is.
So she will start her shit journey in the litter box, and then if there's any pellets or remaining,
she'll let them loose.
Okay, good. Let's just keep this in, right? I mean,
this is like bonus content.
Yeah, let's just
for YouTube.
I think we should just start it. I'll start the show right now. Amy,
Riley.
Oh man, we are back, and it feels like I personally feel like I've lived multiple lifetimes since we last saw each other.
Yeah. I'll speak for myself. I had one hell of a weekend last weekend, and I think you did too.
Yeah. But what is it about how weeks go by, like 1 week specifically goes by, and it could feel like either eternity or the fastest thing in the world? Do you ever feel that way? Like, what does time mean?
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff?
Yeah. It's freaking July any day.
What the hell? I really remember when it was February.
I know, and the weather has felt like February this whole time. So
what's going on with this LA summer?
June gloom.
It's still cold. I debated wearing a sweater to your home. You're wearing a sweater now.
I am. I'm wondering if it's unnecessary though. I feel like it's finally warming up.
It's just in the nebulous region of sweater weather or shirt weather.
Yeah.
You never know what the hell kind of climate we're in right now if you're looking on YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's right. I have a Ken and Lisa's I almost called it Ken and Lisa's Turtle Time restaurant.
Wait, that's better.
Abort the merch. You got a t-shirt, I got a sweatshirt, and you also got a Brooks and Dawn t-shirt, and that order is coming on the 6th.
No way.
So I think next time we can wear them.
Okay. So I thought maybe on our wonderful boat trip I could wear Brooks and Dawn, but that's not.
I don't think it's going to come in time.
And it is the best 4th of July shirt I've ever seen in my life, but it won't come then.
Well, also I should check because I don't know if they're all coming together, so I'll log in and see if the tracking numbers are different.
Okay. Well, that is merch. If you haven't seen it, we created iconic merch. Amy specifically designed some beautiful, beautiful designs. Ken and Lisa's Treehouse Restaurant, which is taking the place of Pump Restaurant when it closes.
Yeah.
Ken and Lisa are going to be in a glass treehouse above the restaurant, and you can watch them like dinner theater. And then Brooks and Dawn, everyone knows them. What's Brooks' first name? Oh, no, Brooks Ayers.
Yeah.
Brooks was his first name.
Yeah.
And then Dawn Gunvalson. They formed a super group. They put their past to bed. They formed a super group called Brooks and Dawn.
Yep.
And yeah, that's the merch we have.
Yeah. More to come always. But we had to drop those hot new items the second we could.
We had to get those out ASAP. They were just too hot to handle.
Totally.
And Dawn and Brooks, don't send us a
cease and desist.
Yeah, please let us make money off of your images.
Yes.
Right?
I know. Well, we don't have to get into the legalities. I tried to select images wisely.
Oh, good. What? Like non
like not like paparazzi. Like,
okay.
you know, like paparazzi are like so scary. Or
Getty.
Oh my God. They'll come for you.
Oh, Getty. John Paul Getty the third.
Like, don't the Gettys have enough?
Those rich assholes, the Gettys, want to stop us from using Brooks Ayers photos on a t-shirt.
They're worse than the Sacklers.
They're the worst rich family. It's the Gettys, the Sacklers. What are some other horrible billionaire families?
The Roys.
The Roys from Succession. Oh, man. There's not one good. Are there any good billionaire families? Bill Gates, people like him, right?
Yeah. I think some people don't, but...
Who?
isn't he on the flight logs?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
But
Well,
yeah, there's some that are generous.
let's just say, can the Gettys give us a break?
Yeah.
You've got that beautiful museum, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What if we wore a Getty Images Brooks and Dawn shirt to the Getty Museum? You think they'd be upset?
I think they'd stop us at the door.
All right. Well, we won't be going to the Getty Museum, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, like celebrities get sued all the time by paparazzi
Yeah.
for using their own image that was taken without their consent.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. They own it, I guess.
So crazy.
Yeah. You should be able to
I feel like if you're the person in the photo, you should be allowed to use it.
I know. Yeah. The limits of what I know about like the copyright laws and stuff. But I guess if, that photo of your image becomes their property. Really strange.
It's creepy.
You know what,
yeah.
though? We're in the clear on Ken and Lisa's Treehouse Restaurant because we just could say that's a different Ken and that's a different Lisa and it has nothing to do with them.
Yeah, that's the, what do they call it? Like parody law.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want.
As long
Dumb
as it's
Starbucks.
Yeah, as long as it's satirical.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And that is, I mean, you have to admit that's satirical, right?
I'd say.
Okay. Well, how are you feeling generally this week since I haven't seen you in since this weekend? How do you
Yeah.
feel after Saturday?
I feel like the audience is going to start to get sick of my shit when I tell you that I'm tired.
Yeah. No, now I'm with you. Now I'm with you. The first reference that came to mind is a Harry Potter reference. I feel like a Dementor sucked out my
Oh, wow.
soul because I'm so tired. Last night I didn't sleep very
Oh, really?
well. George was going nuts. I think I was it was just bad. And then I recovered last night, but I think the sleep deprivedness of the night before still has me in its grip. That's
Totally.
okay. I mean, I'm ready to amp up. I have a huge coffee.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've, to keep it real hot and interesting, I've had a crick in my neck since Monday.
Oh.
And I got a massage, though, yesterday. I've been using, do you ever fuck with Salon Paws? It's like icy hot, basically. They're like these little patches.
No. Salon.
It's like Salon,
Yeah.
P-A-S.
P-A-S. Okay.
I don't know.
Salon,
They're like French or something.
Salon Pause.
Salon Paws.
And what's good about it?
It's basically like a menthol patch.
Oh, I like that.
And it completely works.
Whoa.
But then when it wears off, then I am in pain again. So I keep putting them on and my skin was like burning because they're like spicy.
I like that though.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's amazing. I
have
don't
these little
understand the
small ones.
science of what it's doing, but it totally works.
It gets you hot and then cold, right?
I guess.
Well, does it get you cold? The menthol gets you cold,
Yeah,
right? And
I
then
guess so.
And then the hot comes later.
So I guess it's like similar to like putting heat in ice. I don't know.
How'd you
Anyways.
get a crick in your neck?
I don't know. It just happens sometimes. I used to go to the chiropractor all the time, but I don't have a job anymore, so I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
But I found a good massage place that it's like technically like it's called YOLO Foot Spa.
Whoa. You only live once.
Exactly.
Foot spa.
Yeah.
So they opened around 2015.
Exactly. I'm still like the last person on earth saying YOLO. I love saying YOLO.
Oh wow, you've never. Why have you been keeping that from me? You've never said it once in my presence.
Well, next time you ask me if you should do something or not,
You'll
I'll tell
say-
you YOLO.
Wow, that's awesome. Was it
So
good?
when I saw it, I was like, YOLO. I'm going there.
Wow, that's nice.
And it was great. It was $55 for 30 minutes on the feet, 30 minutes body.
Whoa.
So an hour.
That's really good.
Right?
For $55?
Yeah. And you keep your clothes on, which I like.
Oh, okay. I like taking them off.
I usually would, but I wanted a more like rudimentary, like if I'm doing the whole shebang with like spa vibes and like all of that, then I'm like, yeah, let's do the whole thing. But this, I was like really just a specific thing. And, to get to like my shoulder and my neck, it's right there. I don't need to take my top off.
That's really, really nice. I
Yeah.
go to one where they just only keep your underwear on.
Okay.
And then they do hot oil all over you. And when they put hot oil, they tuck your underwear just down a little bit.
You put their finger in your butt.
Yeah. They just don't want to get hot oil all over your underwear. So it's kind of nice, but they roll it down really far. You're basically naked on the table,
Totally.
but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, us ladies usually are nothing on top, but you can keep your bottoms.
That's awesome.
But I don't even know what we're talking about.
Did,
But
did chiropractors, just to go back to something you said, do they work? Like, did it make you feel good?
yeah, I'm willing to. I feel like the internet is extremely divided on
Me too.
chiropractors.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of back and neck cracking videos on like TikTok and stuff, but a lot of other people are like, you're gonna have a stroke from getting your neck cracked.
Oh,
like,
geez.
don't do that. So I don't know. I liked mine. It was in this dude who is like a hippie type man, and it's like out of his like back house. Like he has like no online information. Like it's like truly like someone has to like give you his number.
Oh,
like
wow.
you can't find him online, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
In Echo Park. I liked going. I felt like it was like good maintenance and like and he also just spends half the time massaging you too, so it was kind of just like getting a massage. But yeah, when I'm like trying not to spend money, that goes by the wayside.
How much does he charge you?
Well, insurance would cover part of it.
Oh, wow.
So I think his fee was $150, but then my insurance covered like 60%.
Oh, okay. That's
So it was
nice.
like $70
Okay,
or something.
but it's still a luxury.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't have like an acute like specific issue. Like I think some people like really need to go, and I was more going to like prevent my weird flare-ups of like I just get a lot of tension in my neck, and I have like my jaw. He does like crazy stuff that I've done, not just with him, but where they like I've gotten massages where they like wear a glove and they like put their fingers in your mouth and like massage your jaw from the inside,
Whoa, I've never done
because
that.
they like have to get up in your like mandible.
Yeah.
And it feels amazing. I mean,
Do you
it
grit
hurts.
your teeth at night?
I like clench.
Oh, yeah. Me
Yeah.
too. When you're like stressed out.
I think so. And then I get like massive pain in like my ear.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
I'm not to talk about pain, but man, I'm having some lower back anyway. But
We're
God
just like,
damn,
this is
we're
the,
hurt.
Like, falling apart minute.
we're hurt. People don't like to hear about pain, but you know, whatever. We're in pain.
People
we're
can
hurting.
relate. I think,
Yeah.
you know, it's just the human body.
Yeah, specifically why we're in pain is because Amy and I had. We want to talk first about our Saturday night?
Sure.
Okay, it was. I mean, it's fun, but we can go. I don't know. We can go as minute, detail oriented as you want, or we could be very general.
Okay.
But we decided to go to Stassi Schroeder's show,
Yeah.
the Mommy Dearest tour.
Yep.
It was her last show of the entire tour. Right? She made that pretty clear.
Yeah.
It was in Los Angeles at the beautiful Ace Theater.
It's beautiful.
Ace Theater is so pretty.
Yeah.
It looks like, what does it look like inside? It looks like candle wax.
Yeah,
is
it's like
dripping.
gothic.
Gothic. It's like I never see architecture like that in Los Angeles. And I never
know.
even look at architecture, but that
There's
is
so many fallen soldier theaters like that downtown that I wish every single one would get restored.
Yeah.
Like they fixed a few, but there's like a million of them.
I mean, you have to give so much props to Ace, the enterprise of Ace Hotel, for keeping that theater alive and doing whatever the hell they do to it to keep it gothic and
Yeah.
looking beautiful, because it's a wonderful theater.
Yeah. it's
Perfect for
great.
Stassi's sort of, what's her vibe?
Murder glam
Scary.
basic.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And she had never, I think I read that she had never been to that theater before. So she
Oh,
was
wow.
probably stunned by how beautiful it was
Yeah.
too.
No, I like going there. So yeah, first we went to the rooftop to get drinks before, and I've been to that bar like a million times, and I've never seen it the way it was this time.
People were so fired up that Stassi was in the vicinity that it was like a dance vibe. There was fun music. It was packed to get a drink.
Yeah.
Also, I had never seen the Ace pool before. I didn't realize the Ace pool is the size of your table in your living room.
Yeah, it's like smaller than most hot tubs.
Yeah, like you can't have that much fun in that pool.
No. And also you're like on display because it's very much, I mean, it's a little bit separate from a lot of the other part of the bar and everything, but it's not, I would personally not be able to relax.
No, you'd be right next to people. I mean, it looked like maybe 10 people could be comfortable in that pool. Maybe 15. Yeah, right. Yeah, anyway, I had never seen the Ace pool. They tout their pool.
No, like if I was traveling and wanted to, like if I didn't live here or if someone was looking for a place to stay that had a pool, I'd be like, that pool's a joke.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You can't go to the Ace Hotel for their pool. I
No.
mean, no, it was barely a pool, but the bar was kind of fun.
it was like, what kind of music were it was this very specific vibe, and everyone was like
Dance.
freak dancing, and it was only 6 p.m. and everyone was turned as fuck.
it was pretty cool to me. They were playing like Drake dance music, but also like electronic music. I mean, people were hyped up, having so much fun. And then also around, you could tell who Stassi's fans were.
Right.
Pretty, I mean, is that bad to say?
No,
Pretty identifiable Stassi Schroeder fans.
for sure.
I don't know what it is, but it's just the way. What do you think?
I mean, it's a lot of
Yeah, exactly.
white girls.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, anyway, we got a table immediately. It was fun.
We ran into a lovely turtle on the rooftop.
Yes, that was so sweet. Someone came up to us and said that they listened to, our podcast, which was wonderful. I mean, talk about a nice thing to hear in the midst of while we're partying. That was so fun. And then we chugged our drinks. I mean, nothing notable happened. We were just trying to get absolutely drunk before we go to Stassi's show.
Yep. Went downstairs, got in. Who do we see?
Oh, the minute we walked in, was it Megan who spotted first? Or did you spot Stassi's mom first? So we had
I don't remember.
We had just watched. Yeah, it's fine. We had just watched season 2, the Lake Arrowhead episode of Vanderpump Rules, where her name's Dana, right?
Yeah.
Dana is very prominently featured, so she was like, I mean, I was familiar with her again all of a sudden because we had just watched that, and then I think Megan, my wife, spotted her, and then standing next to his mom, obviously, was Nikolai Schroeder.
Yeah.
Right?
A tall string bean boy.
Yeah. What would you say? 18 years old now?
Yeah. He looks young, but
But he still has that same face of a little boy, right?
yeah.
That became sort of an 18-year-old's face.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what we were saying. Didn't we just say this on the Patreon where we were like, he looks like a young boy.
I think
He's
so.
a little boy.
I think so. And I think it was Dana's husband,
Okay.
which I didn't know that Stassi and Nikolai were
they're half?
siblings. I didn't know that.
Are they?
Someone said that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
I always assumed, I mean, I guess, well, wait, when did her parents get divorced? Didn't she say like when she was in college?
Yeah, I really have no clue.
So he could have been born already.
Yeah, he could have. If someone knows,
We have to fact check.
You probably know. But yeah, Nikolai was so nice. We came up to him. It was a really 50-50 of whether or not we should go up to Nikolai. Because one, it's like, this is kind of weird, and he's not a cast member. And
Yeah.
this person hasn't been on camera in like, 6 years
Yeah.
or 7 years. So it was a question, a moral question. And I asked you, I think I said, Amy, should we get a photo with Nikolai? Do you think it's warranted? Will it be okay? We made this, split-second decision, and then we just went over to him. He was so nice.
He loved it. He was like, we went up to him and said we had just watched the Arrowhead episode, his introduction, and that we loved it. And he was like, oh, you enjoyed that?
Oh, that is so sweet.
No, he loved it.
Yeah, and then he said, thank you so much for your support, which was really sweet. And then we just walked away, and Amy and I were on a cloud after that. We were like, who gives a shit about the show? We were like, mission
Yeah.
accomplished.
Totally. That's
Yeah.
like a great Pokemon to have. Very rare.
And you can see the beautiful Los Angeles theater, or Ace Theater behind us. It
Yeah.
looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Photographs well.
Yeah.
Then we went upstairs to get drinks. We thought the show was starting without us, but it was just the warm-up comedian,
Yeah.
which I'm good on.
Okay. Her name is Taylor. Do you know
Yeah.
her last name?
So
So she's the co-host of Stassi's.
There's like a ghost like opening
I
and
know.
closing my bathroom.
I know you were like, Jimmy's gone for the day, and I'm like, are you sure Jimmy's not opening and closing the door over there?
Streck?
I think it's Taylor Streck, and she's Stassi's co-host, because I've listened to Stassi's podcast.
Okay.
Sometimes her co-host. I
Okay.
think like the Pop Culture Hour. She's her best friend, I think, or very close friend. And she was the warm-up comedian.
Okay.
And I'll say one note.
Okay.
She was saying her jokes so fast. Like, did you sense that it was so fast? It was just like a
Breezing
mile
through.
a minute jokes. 10 minutes of the most dense jokes you've ever heard that I could barely even respond to one. before she was already on to the next one. But I feel like it was doing its purpose, getting us sort of like, little chuckles were coming
Sure.
out, right? You
Better
said-
or worse than Che Diaz?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I only heard one Che Diaz joke, which was the Uber joke that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is so a car culture, right?
Yeah.
That you need to take an Uber from your bedroom to the bathroom.
And it's going to cost you.
That joke is really funny when you think about it because, well, we are so used to car culture in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can't go anywhere. And so...
Well, I did take the train to Stassi's show. I
Oh.
was feeling very New York vibes.
Yeah, that was amazing. The New York vibes were pretty, iconic what you were doing. Do you think...
Sorry, guys. I am delusional today. I am laughing. Okay. Anyways, okay. Should we just get back to the Stassi show?
Yeah, totally. So Taylor was, I would say the humorous level was at maybe a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
But I didn't know she's a comedian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know, or you didn't know who she was?
I didn't know who she was. I have only really listened to snippets of Stassi's podcast. Like, I don't know the whole
Yeah.
setup and,
Okay. Yeah, it was quick. I think it was serviceable. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And then she had warmed us up.
Yeah.
Like we were warm at this point, and then Stassi came out, and at first she was playing that "Mommy Dearest," that scary song, which people might have seen. It's like is it the music from "Mommy Dearest"? I've never seen "Mommy Dearest" either.
I feel like it was giving like Halloween CD music.
Okay, right. Have you seen "Mommy Dearest"?
Yeah.
Oh, is it good?
It's fun. Oh my God. There
I'm
is a
so
ghost
scared.
in the house.
Once we started talking about Che Diaz, it's Che Diaz, right?
Yeah.
Once we started talking about Che Diaz, the doors in Amy's apartment started opening and closing rapidly.
They're here.
I'm
She's here.
kind of worried. Is the reason why Che made that joke is because Che was from New York and they were just acclimating to Los Angeles car culture?
Yeah. They came just for their pilot, which I don't know if would you watch Che Pasta?
Well, I love Che's humor on the show, at least the glimpses we see of it. So, of course, I would watch that full show that they were a part of.
And would you watch it? Would you rather watch it with Tony Danza as their dad or without?
Was there a point where they were deciding if Tony Danza should be the dad or not?
The plot line was if Tony Danza would get canceled for playing a Mexican man when he's in fact Italian.
Oh, yeah, he would have, right?
I guess.
I think so. I would have canceled him. I thought it was kind of strange that Miranda continued to go down on Che while they were on the phone with the producer of the show.
Yeah.
I thought, couldn't Miranda stop for a second? What did you think?
They've made Miranda a bumbling fool
So
on this show.
Is it sort of the popular opinion that Miranda is a lot different than she was in the...
Yeah, she's like a lunatic now. She's just all over the place.
And so what can be how do you explain why they're choosing to make Miranda into a sort of unrecognizable character now?
I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I feel like they wanted to make her gay, which is fine, but they are deleting the past where they're acting like she never loved Steve, that it was all like a farce. And I'm like, we were all there the whole time. We saw what happened.
Do you think Steve is ever going to come back, or you think he's just...
I think he has an appearance,
Oh, good.
at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think has something coming up. But yeah, there's certain little stuff where you're like, did you guys watch the show that was on before? Like certain details, like even they said on one of the new episodes, Harry says something about his mother, and it's like there's like a whole plot line about him talking about on the original show how his mom is dead.
No
And I'm
way.
like, do you guys have a Bible or not?
Yeah. So Darren Star created
Yeah.
Sex and the City. Did he leave?
I think he left after like the second season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he
it's
created it?
Michael Patrick King is the daddy of the show, really.
Who is the comeback,
Yeah.
co-creator of the comeback.
Yeah.
Now, why is the humor of the comeback a 10 out of 10, one of the funniest shows of all time? So funny. And then the humor level of And Just Like That is about a 5 out of 10. Not
Something's rotten on this new show, but I'm such a Sex and the City fan that I'm just so desperate for any little crumbs that I'm like, it's great.
Is it giving you crumbs of what you loved about Sex and the City?
I mean, in the crumbs are that it's my girls 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's totally delusional, deranged. Like, if this show had nothing to do with Sex and the City, you'd be like, what is this?
Right.
It's
You wouldn't
just
know.
so bizarre.
This is sort of like mini Saints of Newark for me, because that also was completely devoid of knowing the Sopranos history. They really made some huge flubs in terms of it, and the only enjoyment I got was just that it's Tony Soprano as a little, as a little boy, which is hard to not enjoy, but it really sort of desecrated the legacy of Sopranos in a way.
Yeah. I didn't watch the whole thing, but the parts that I did see, I thought Vera Farmiga was good as mommy.
Yeah, she was good as Livia. And the guy, whoever the guy who played Junior was pretty
Wasn't
good.
it Corey Stoll?
Yeah, it was.
I love him.
Yeah, he was really good as Junior.
Very attracted to him.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I love him.
You've never said who you're attracted to before.
Wow. He's a first.
Whoa.
He's very hot, I think.
Is he on the hottest of, like, in your top 10?
He's one of those ones that, like, I forget about him. He's the one, he played Hemingway in Midnight in Paris.
Oh, right.
But he has hair in that.
Right.
So he looks totally different. And then he was on House of Cards. And wasn't he on, like, Girls?
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I only watched
And-
Girls sporadically, but I remember him on it.
Yeah, I just like him.
Okay.
I'm into it.
Did you think he was sexually attractive in Mini Saints of Newark?
As Uncle Junior. Well, if we know one thing about Uncle Junior,
What?
it's that he goes down.
Like Miranda, sort of. Right? Okay.
Full circle.
Full circle. Perfect. A perfect tangent.
Okay, back to the ace.
So Stassi came out. The audience was fully warmed up.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was good that Taylor said the same joke that Che said at the very end.
What? Oh, that was her closer.
Yeah, Taylor said that something about Uber culture, about having to get an Uber to go from your bedroom to your bathroom.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Here comes Stassi. Then Stassi came out.
Guess who's back?
Yeah.
Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend.
And that was kind of cool. Guess who's back?
Is that
Guess
in
who's back?
regards to her being canceled?
Yeah. Yeah. So Stassi, she became uncanceled. She came out to Eminem, which I thought was surreal.
Yeah.
Jarring.
With smoke.
Yeah. And then Stassi does 15 stand-up minutes.
She was truly doing like a tight 10.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was weird because Stassi is not a comedian, or she could be if she wanted to try, but it just seemed like, why would you give us all this like very prepackaged, like scripted comedic what is that called? Like a set.
Yeah.
Why don't you give us a set, which you could very much tell was what she said to every single person. It just seemed a little off-brand for Stassi.
Yeah, I'm like, the outside of, so she opened with that packaged little bit. She, did a lot of comedy about motherhood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then, like, the rest of the show, generally, like, it was pretty unformatted, it was just kind of them shooting the shit.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know what I expected, but it was pretty nonchalant.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was
It was like our Patreon podcast,
right?
But except the tickets were like $70.
Yeah, definitely. It was it was, the format was very strange, loose. It was like Stassi did 10 minutes of stand-up comedy about motherhood. Then she brought out Bo, and then Bo. What did you think about Bo's performance?
Honestly, I like turned on him.
Really? Like you didn't like him as much
I-
after that?
I mean, I'm not like obsessed with him anyways, but I was like, you're enjoying this too much. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, what's your deal?
Well, he wanted to be a performer
Right.
in his life. I mean, he tried to be an actor. I won't say tried. He
Well, that's
was
where
an
Kristen met him, right?
actor. Yeah, like he has a performative spirit, and I think this is a good outlet for him. And you can see that he's decent on stage. He's
Yeah.
good, but their sort of their rapport was a little forced,
Yeah.
little
Strained.
awkward, little too much interrupting. I was like, how many times have you all done this before? And
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Like, a lot of their bits were about the hardships of parenting, which would be fine if they were funny, but it was just kind of a bummer. Like, they were
Yeah.
making me like, they were just like complaining essentially.
yeah, yeah, like giving us, I guess, what they thought that we would all, as Stassi, fans, be really, really interested in, which is how much of a horror Hartford is, right?
Right.
And how hard it is.
Yeah.
Then they sort of livened it up by bringing Taylor and Katie back out.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I think there was a little bit of a flub where Katie was like, Stassi was like, how do you feel after the reunion? Do you wish there were any questions that like you would have been asked? Because Katie didn't feel like she got to talk a lot at the reunion, she said. And then Katie was like, there was so much I would have said and I wanted to say. And then Stassi was like, oh man, I wish I would have known that because I would have come up with questions for you that I would have asked, which, yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, we could have had like a full 10 minutes of like Stassi asking, Vanderpump Rules related questions, which is the reason why Katie was there.
Right. Although whenever Katie was directly asked, she seemed to not have much to say. She also forgot her pants.
Oh, she did?
She wasn't wearing pants.
I thought she was continuing on the legacy of the fuck me in my t-shirt.
That's true. I'm ready for that to be done.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, let's put our pants back on as a society.
you say let's all just collectively pull up our pants and put them back on.
Pull up by your bootstraps.
Okay. All right, so the no pants era is over.
I say.
Okay.
I mean, she looked good, and this is jumping ahead, but at the very end, they brought out Stassi a cake, and Katie wore her Sir uniform dress to bring out the cake, and I was like screaming, and she looked amazing in the Sir dress. So
yeah, she looked
good for her.
She looked great. I mean, that was really like only the notable parts. I mean, Katie said she would film with Tom Sandoval again. There was one time where Stassi was like, how is Tom Sandoval going to film if no one on the cast will film with him? And Katie goes, I'll still film with
Yeah,
Sandoval.
she's like, I never said I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes sense in the sense that she's always hated him anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it could be any more uncomfortable for them to hang out now than it ever was.
I also think contractually they just do have to have scenes with the other cast members.
Yeah.
Like, even if they hate them, because that's the entire show.
Yeah.
I don't think
I mean, she's had to film with James Kennedy this whole time after he called her fat like 500 times.
Yeah, she's had to be in events with him. Yeah, she had to be with him for like 3 seasons, hating him the most out of any person in the world.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think our favorite part was at one point, was it like viewer questions or something like that? Or Stassi brought back
someone stood up and said, I have one question for you all. What is your opinion on chicken pot pies?
they said, I went on a date with someone, and on the first date, the man ordered a chicken pot pie. Is that a red flag? I was like, it's like, marry him.
Yeah, we were all going, no, that's not. And I think it was only Taylor who thought it was a huge red flag.
Right.
Stassi thought it was amazing. Katie thought it means you're comfortable and you're happy.
Wasn't Bo talking shit?
think
He
Bo
compared
was.
it to drinking milk as an adult,
Yeah.
which I think is a chuggy comedy area.
Really making fun of drinking milk.
Yeah, because I love milk.
Yeah, right. I just bought a bunch of whole milk recently just to have fun.
It's delicious. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Who are we kidding?
And
I think people's gut just can't handle it, so they act like it's disgusting when in fact they just have a weak biome.
right. And then the people who who can stand milk, we all love it because we can drink it. And
Me and Mariana call ourselves, because she likes milk too, we call ourselves the 2%.
oh, wow, that's great. Because you both prefer that as your type of...
Well, it's like, it was during that, we came up with it when we kept talking, it was like the Bernie Sanders era when we were talking about the 1%.
So it's almost a double entendre.
Yeah, it's like, we are the 2%.
Wow. The 2% of people who like milk and also your favorite type.
Yeah. I got 2% in my coffee right here.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I got that.
Thank you.
Okay, good. So, Stassi, I guess I would give it overall. I don't want to be, too mean, and it was still fun. It was kind of short. It was an hour long.
Yeah.
There was a couple moments of levity, like the chicken pot pie minute.
Hartford came out and sang.
Yeah, Hartford came out and sang that song from Frozen, right?
Yeah. She didn't want to leave the stage.
She didn't want to leave. They had to, get her out of there. And then
They used the Apollo hook.
Yeah.
And yanked her out.
Yeah, it was awful. I don't know who was behind the curtains there, but they really yanked Hartford out of there. And then they just bowed and said goodnight, and they let us just go about our night, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you feel unfulfilled after?
Kind of. But you fixed that by getting a bacon wrapped hot dog outside, and we saw that who was there. We know that Kristen was there.
Yeah.
But we didn't see her. I saw Dana run by at one point.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, Dana the mom?
No,
the other
one.
Dana?
Yeah.
Really? The other Dana was there?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Okay. Wow. So
Which this will play into our story later. She went in. I don't know if I saw her outside while we were at the hot dog area. I saw her go in.
She's Katie's best friend. So it's possible that she's just, there. Wow. So we had the same night as Dana, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's okay to say that Dana was there.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So then I ate a bacon wrapped hot dog. I don't know what, that kind of shows you my mood after the show. I was ready to eat a bacon wrapped hot dog. And then we decided to continue partying because it was 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was from 8 to 9.
Yeah.
We're all dressed up. We look our best.
We had our top hats on.
We all looked
Our
amazing.
spats.
Tucks and tails. We looked good.
Yeah.
Like we were ready to conquer the world. And Stassi left us sort of unsatiated.
Yeah.
Is that what you'd say?
Yeah. It was just it had no format to the show.
And that couldn't be your night. You don't just want to, I don't know, for 1 hour, you're just we watched Stassi talk about Hartford and they didn't even dance. Right? They didn't dance once. Well, when she came out to Eminem.
A little bit. She was kind of rocking side to side.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had taken the train from home to downtown, and I have a rule that I don't take the train back home after a certain hour because it gets wild down there.
Oh, it does?
It gets crazy.
So what time, what's your cutoff for train time?
I mean, it'll depend. If I'm with friends, maybe we could push it later, but when I'm by myself, I get a little scared, especially because it wanted me to go from Pershing Square, which is not great.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I would say after dark.
Okay. Yeah, and it was dark when we got out.
Totally. So then we were where should we go next? We went to a place fairly close to my house. So then I was, we took an Uber, so I was back in the hood, secure, and then crazy shit went down.
Yeah. Then we went into this wonderful, beautiful bar that we love to go to, and we got a table, which was the last table in the dance section of this bar, and to the left of us at our table there was a sign that said happy birthday Ariana, right? No, reserved for Ariana.
Yeah, happy birthday. Yeah.
And when you're thinking about who in the universe had a birthday that night that was named Ariana, you have to think Ariana Madix is potentially one of those people.
Yeah, and because it was Stassi's birthday and Ariana's birthday.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh,
yeah.
right. We never even explained that. This was Stassi's birthday, but it was also Ariana's birthday. And then, how long, it was 20 minutes after of us just standing by that table, starting to drink Pacificos, having fun. And then all of a sudden, I think it was, Brock and Sheena first?
Well, first we saw Ariana's friend Brad.
Oh, right.
Who that's a deep cut to recognize, but we were like had already seen the Ariana paper on the table, and then we saw Brad, who's kind of been in the public eye more recently.
He was on the Nick Vial podcast.
Yeah.
He also was the person who set up the Ariana New York adventure. I don't know if you saw that, but he was like a part of the, I don't know, he was like helping her out on her birthday to have fun in New York. Oh, her birthday was, they were celebrating her birthday back in New York. That was like, I don't know, maybe that wasn't her birthday. I don't know. But anyway.
Okay. But yeah, so then we had that in our mind. Then we saw him and we were like, whoa. And then, Sheena came, Brock, Dana, like I said.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, Ariana Maddox did come and her new boyfriend was there.
Yeah. Now, to be fully honest, I felt slightly uncomfortable being at the table next to
Creepy.
Ariana's birthday because, we're like, you and I are on their radar a little bit, like in a very small way, just as Bravo commentators.
Yeah.
So the fact that I was standing there when Sheena and Brock and Ariana arrived kind of made me feel uncomfortable, like I was a psychotic
like they
stalker,
should call 911.
that I had chosen the table that was right next to them to celebrate their birthday, and also it made me self-conscious about what I was doing. I didn't want to look at them or party too wild or have my phone out in any way. Like I was trying to report their birthday. I wanted Ariana to have a normal, nice, fun birthday with all of her friends and not seem like she's in the presence of a total fan, a super fan.
Yeah.
So that part actually, it sort of made me slightly just uncomfortable. Like, I think the entire time you were there, it was just sort of like we wanted to have our own fun time. We were never invited over to there, nor should we have been. I mean, it would have been nice, obviously, but why would we have been?
Yeah.
So we were just having our own party.
Yeah.
Brock and Spencer came. Were you there when my two friends came?
I was there when Spencer came, but I left before Brock came.
Okay. So, so you left. What were your feelings when you decided to leave?
I just had already had a big weekend by that point. I went out Thursday night and Friday night, and it was now Saturday night. And I knew that if I was going to stay, I was going to need to start drinking a lot more to have a good time because it's loud music. You kind of have to either go to 10 or it's kind of pointless.
So you were at a crossroads.
And I was like, I don't think I can do what needs to be done in order for me to stay. Yeah. So I had to throw in the towel. And I felt better that you had people coming that could relieve me. Like, I tapped out.
Could you imagine if it was just Megan and I standing there at that table without you trying to pretend like we're normal and having fun? That would have been so bad. Luckily, so I was at a crossroads too. I was like, I can either look like I'm having fun, trying to have fun on my own, which I was. I wanted to just be at a bar and have fun and be normal.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, you're right. The environment is like, get drunk as hell or you're not going to be able to participate in how fun, the atmosphere is.
Yeah.
So I decided to get drunk as hell. I had a spicy margarita. I had 4 Pacificos. Brock and Spencer showed up. And then the attention now, it was like, I'm actually having fun. I'm partying. We are doing something that someone would consider partying on our own.
Yeah.
And the fact that Sheena and Brock were all there, I didn't look at them too much. I didn't look at what they were doing, but they were partying as well, doing shots.
Yeah.
Drinking, having fun, dancing a little bit or whatever. So then it was like 2 divided parties, which was fine and normal. I was drunk as hell. You had left, so I think the second half of the night was exactly what you said. It's like we entered the drunk era, and then it was more normal. And then like people from the party, so like Ariana did come up over to me, and she goes, "Turtle time," because I think that people don't know that you're not my wife, and they see Megan and they think she might be part of Turtle Time. Like, I don't know.
We're interchangeable.
Yeah, like Ariana doesn't know, so she said Turtle Time, which I thought was amazing, fun, and I'm always like completely stunned that Ariana would ever say anything to me, to us. Sheena was so nice again, but Sheena also, I felt like Sheena was like, what the hell is this guy doing here? I'm the nicest person in the world, but why the hell is this Riley Hamilton guy at the table next to us when we're partying with Ariana? That's how I felt. I'm very paranoid and very self-conscious. So, but then anyway, it got more fun. Ariana came over. She said, I told her, I said, Ariana, I promise we come to this bar all the time. This was a normal, I'm normal. I said, I'm normal, and this is a normal partying
Single white female
environment.
ass. You have like a blonde bob.
You know someone is normal when they say, I'm normal, right?
You were wearing like a red bandage dress.
So I solidified completely that I'm a normal person, that I was
Did
not
she
there.
believe you?
I think she said yes. The way she looked,
Or was
I
she
think
like, sure?
I think I was giving off total normal vibes. And so
Okay.
then she left me. I go, can I get you anything for your birthday? Because happy birthday. Because I'm not going to pretend I don't know it's her birthday.
Right.
It was her birthday. I've seen Vanderpump Rules so much. I know it's
Yeah.
her birthday. And it said happy birthday on the
Yeah.
table. So I said, happy birthday like a normal person. I said, can I get you anything? She said, no, I'm completely covered, which is true. There's 100
Yeah.
people.
Oh.
But
I just like put the microphone in my mouth.
there's 100 people buying her.
No, she was like, yeah, they were doing shots after shots. Her boyfriend brought over champagne at one point, was
Yeah.
twirling the flutes between his fingers, which was kind of Sandoval vibes. I'm going to be real. He was like doing mixology, bartending like action.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. I was just going to say, once Ariana declared me normal, I felt really like
You could
good.
really let loose then.
I could start to look to the left in a natural way and not pretend like I couldn't look over
Yeah.
there and see what they're doing. Because I also, I didn't want to appear like I was reporting on it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like filming.
There were some people just straight up filming the corner, like just had their phones up.
Yes. To our right of us, there were people just standing on the chairs, just filming what they were doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, it became more normal. It became fine and fun, and then it devolved into just being so drunk that you don't even. I didn't care anymore. I was just like slopping around, going around. We and I don't really. It got fuzzy after that. But I think
Did you talk to Brock?
no,
The other Brock?
no. Which one? The Sheena's Brock?
Sheena's Brock.
No, I think
Davies.
I think if anyone, I was so paranoid that he's like, oh, I've seen this guy at Sheena's courthouse. I've seen this
That's
guy.
the one that pushes it over the edge.
Yeah, I've seen this guy at emo night. What the hell is this guy doing here at Ariana's birthday at an event where we didn't tell anyone what was going on? I just think that's Brock to me is probably like. I'm going to try to talk to him someday and just be like, Brock, I swear that one was a coincidence. What's the line of how much you can be like a fan? Like you and I are commenting on this and we're trying to go to these events so we can talk about it. But we don't want to be creepy or weird, or me personally. Like you don't ever come off as creepy or weird.
The thing is, 9 times out of 10, it's at a Vanderpump establishment, which totally doesn't count.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we're allowed to do that.
Yeah, that's the whole point. And if they go there, they know what they're signing up for.
Yeah.
But when it bleeds out into these other areas, it gets more questionable because they're like, I come here because no one knows us here.
Yes.
Kind of a thing.
Well, this one, I feel like...
But I think in the end was fine.
Yeah, but I was so paranoid and self-conscious, and I just don't want to be perceived as, like a stalker.
Do you think that she thought that there's a mole in their group?
I have to assume that Sheena and Brock and whoever are going, what the hell happened? Who posted a story of where we're going? Because this person who talks about Bravo all the time.
It's like The Departed. They have to, leak certain information and see where it comes out.
Exactly. When they all sit everyone down, Leonardo DiCaprio, and they have them write their social security numbers down, but Leonardo DiCaprio leaves before they can get back the police reports.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how do you not know he's the rat? He's the one person who left when this was all going on.
Yeah.
That movie makes no sense.
Oh my God, it's perfect.
What about the part where they're going to get those microprocessors and Jack Nicholson is a part of it? He would never go on that microprocessor run.
Too risky?
For the boss
He's
of the
in
family?
with the feds.
Right. So he's a rat too.
Spoilers.
So why is he doing illegal stuff as a rat? He's the biggest rat of them all. I don't know. Watch that. When was the last time you saw it?
I watched it like a month ago.
Oh, okay. And it still
I
holds
actually
up
watched it
perfectly?
the day after the Scandival bus.
It's a wonderful movie, and there are so many iconic, beautiful things about it, but story-wise, it's a little baggy, and it doesn't make so much sense.
I love, though, sorry, this is the Departed minute, the coincidence of like when they go to get Martin Sheen and then Leo has just escaped and then they run into him and they're like, where were you? Like that is such a satisfying moment when he just like enters the fold and then the like twist that the guy gave him the wrong address and he showed up anyways and then he dies.
Yeah, that was great.
It's so thrilling.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely thrilling. And the final 20 minutes are amazing.
Oh my God. I have seen it many times, but since my brain is so bad, I forget all the twists and turns. So when I watch it every couple years, I get to be thrilled again.
Yeah. Do you think something was wrong with Matt Damon's sexual libido?
Why?
Because they make a lot of references that he's not like having sex with his girlfriend, Vera Farmiga.
Well, then she goes and gets it from Leo instead.
Right. Do you like Leo more than Matt Damon in that movie?
Yes.
Okay, good. So to finish, one thing that I will say makes this much worse, the story we were talking about the bar, is that the next day I went live just to talk preemptively about our fun night on TikTok, and I provocatively, but in a humorous way, made it titled Riley Tells All Episode 1 because I was being silly and provocative, but it wasn't like supposed to be a actual, like what's that called? Like a tell.
You were trying to be a provocateur.
Yeah, I was trying to be a provocateur with a salacious title, but I wasn't actually going to tell everything in the world. But then I just went live and I started talking about our night like I'm doing now. And I had a photo up of the Ariana photo bomb. Yeah. And then that guy, Brad, came into my live and he gave me the thinking question mark emoji, and then everyone goes, Riley, Brad is in here. And I go, hey, Brad. And and at that time, I was hypothetically talking about if Ariana should date either Brock or Spencer. Yeah. And I'm thinking about how he is probably friends with Ariana's actual boyfriend. Well, first of all, he thinks that I'm telling every secret from the night, like everything that I learned while I was watching at the bar, which I was not. I was not giving any specific details. It looked so bad. And then I go, Brad, I'm so sorry I'm talking about this, but I was just saying how hypothetically Ariana should date either my friends Brock or Spencer. And then I sort of nullified it a little bit, but it's really awkward and it was captured on live for like 5 minutes. So I looked like a little stinker.
He probably texted Ariana right away and you're blacklisted now.
I know. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, why did I name it Riley Tells All? Why did the fact that when I was showing that photo for those 5 minutes, that's when he came in the live chat? Also, how did he find my live? I guess he follows me and or he was just like, whoa, there's a thing called Riley Tells All, and I don't know what happened. But anyway, that made me look extra bad. So,
well, you're gonna have to watch what happens live.
What do you mean?
Next.
Okay.
What's she gonna do?
So
she might give you a assist and deceased.
Yeah. And then when we show up to James Kennedy's housewarming party, it's gonna look even worse.
But we'll be invited, so.
Okay, good. Was that our night?
Pretty much, yeah. I walked part of the way home and stopped at one of those like roadside like taco stands and got a quesadilla, and then I took a bird or a lime the rest of the way.
Really? Yeah. Wait. So where did you walk to? Not to get too specific, Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Okay, so
I'm not trying to dox, but I walked probably for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then
got it.
Limed the way.
Wow, you had a lime night? Yeah. Wow.
I just saw one right there and I was like, you know what?
That's pretty fun. And they were working well.
Yeah, it was easy. I don't usually do that, but I wasn't taking it on any main roads. I took it just in like the neighborhood. So I felt okay.
Any perilous incidents while on your way back?
No. Wow. I could have just taken an Uber, but I was on foot, and if I would have walked the entire way, it was going to take longer than I wanted. Yeah. So I just zipped home on the lime.
It was a beautiful night in Los Angeles.
It was nice. Yeah.
No matter what you did, that was a beautiful Saturday night. It was a nice night out. It felt good. The vibes were powerful and fun. And
yeah. Ariana seemed like she had a great night. Yeah. She was looking good.
Yeah.
She's so petite.
I know. Everyone seems taller and bigger on camera, you know, from the way they film them or whatever. But yeah, Ariana's like 5.
Yeah, she's like tiny.
Yeah, it's not wild.
Yeah.
I never would
She's
have
like
expected
Sheena
that.
sized.
I know. I think Sheena's taller.
Maybe.
Anyway, that's the, update from our night. And, we did spend an hour, which you want to talk about. Oh, we should do our tagline game, right?
Should we?
Do you want to take a break and then do our taglines?
Sure.
Or do you have to take a break?
I think I'm good, but should we do one for the ads of
Yeah.
it all?
Sure. Let's take a little break. In 1 hour, that's the right amount of time to talk about Che Diaz and our night and whatever we talked about for the first 30 minutes. I think this was a good hour. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. Maybe a 6 out of 10, right?
10 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let us know how you like this first segment. It felt a little, it felt pretty good, but I would give it maybe a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
All
Your
right.
number's going up.
Okay. And we're back. I hope you liked that ad from our sponsor, presumably Factor Meals. Right? Have you listened to our ads ever?
Is that the Sheena one?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Do you think we're still getting that Factor money?
We need to check. We need to get our shit together on our ads.
Yeah, I want an ad read pretty soon.
I know.
I want to be able to say, like, Amy, do you know what I like about going to Alamo Draft House? The unlimited popcorn.
Yeah. I want to do with promo code VAG in the city.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I would read that. Well, they probably wouldn't want me, but that Carrie ad,
Yeah.
why was she so offended?
I know. She's kind of a prude.
Secretly she is?
Yeah. Historically.
Oh, wow. All right, well, I would read any ad, anything.
Well, I
We already
have
said.
something to read.
Oh, good. What is that?
We, as promised last week, we said we were going to come back with some of our top and bottom taglines of all time. And I went a little overboard, but I highlighted the top ones.
Okay.
So, what do we want to start? Do we want to do you want to read, should we each say a stinker?
Yeah.
And then we'll say a good one?
Let's go back and forth with our stinkers,
Okay.
and then let's go back and forth with our best, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's more, okay. All right, I'm going to say my first stinker.
Yeah.
Okay, this one, bottom of the barrel. It almost doesn't count, but I just have to include it. It's Gina Keogh's tagline from the OC, and this tagline is, I have always wanted things. I crave money. It's giving, who's the person who craves money? Scrooge McDuck?
Yeah.
It's just, I have always, this is before they
I
had
know.
taglines, but still,
Yeah.
it's a tagline. I mean,
I
they have it on
included two that are of that generation.
Okay, did you have this one?
I didn't have that one, but I remember like LOLing.
It
at
doesn't get more bare bones than that and really straight to the point.
Yeah.
I have always wanted things. I crave money. Even if she just said that and they isolated that clip and that's what she said, it's kind of a strange sentence to utter.
Yeah.
I crave money. I mean, I do. I crave money personally, but I would never say it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's yours?
Well, I'm trying to see. I have two that are like that, and I'm trying to figure out which one is better. But Lori Peterson, are the police involved?
Yeah, I saw that one too. Is she talking about her her son? She kind of had a
Probably.
son with a sort of rough
She used to always
upbringing.
get calls when she worked for Vicky. Like the school would call, and she'd be like, "I have to go."
Yeah.
You know,
So her tagline for a full season was, "Are the police involved?"
such a bummer.
Okay, I'm gonna go with non-OC one for a second, just
Okay.
because those are easily the worst ones. I thought this one was pretty bad, considering who the housewife is. New York City is my playground, Bethany Frankel. I thought that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's not. There's no play on words. It's just a sentence, and it's a dumb sentence.
Yeah.
New York City is my playground. There's nothing fun about that.
Yeah.
And it was a season 3. It was like Roni was established by
Right.
that point.
Especially for a wordsmith like Bethany.
Do you think New York City is actually her playground?
I mean, it probably was for a while there.
Okay.
This one like sounds like it's good, but I hate it.
Okay.
I'm an enigma wrapped in a riddle and cash.
Yeah, that was Erica Jane.
Yeah.
And the way she says cash was sort of annoying.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah. What is it again? I'm a riddle.
I'm an enigma,
Oh, enigma.
wrapped in a riddle and cash.
Yeah, it's sort of just you throw on the money part of it. Like she's saying she's a mystery.
It's just like falls flat for me. Every time I heard it, I'd be like, I don't like that one.
Okay, good. Yeah, and that's a good bottom of the barrel because they were actually trying with that one. Okay, I don't like this one. I think it's a Tamra Judge.
Okay.
It's housewives come younger, but they don't come hotter.
Okay.
I just think there's nothing fun about that. She's just saying she's hotter than all of the Orange County housewives, and she said that a lot. Like that was her claim to fame. She loved being hotter than everyone.
Right.
Which I don't know. That's not something that anybody can help.
Right.
If she's the hottest one, it's like, what are you really trying to say? And it's
Yeah.
not very playful or fun.
Yeah. Yeah. We've noticed like there were over 500 total.
Yes.
And I would say a giant portion of them are pretty shitty.
I'd say the top 50, even in the top 50, there are pretty bad ones in
Yeah.
there, and there are over 500.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stinkers.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to, I don't know, they need
Step
to
up their
hire
game.
someone to write taglines.
Yeah. I'm so conflicted because I have like a bunch, but then I highlighted the best, but now I'm like, wait, should I feature a different one? But this one also is trying to do the most, and it just grosses me out.
Okay.
It's now that I got my baby, that's the only crap I take.
Who said that?
That is Ashley Darby from Potomac. And I'm like, you take your baby's crap? Like poo?
Yeah, when her baby craps, that's
She
the only
takes it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, that's the only crap that she has to deal with now, right? Her baby's
Yeah.
crap.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I mean, I don't think any tagline should have the word crap in it. Crap.
Wait for Crappy Lake.
Oh my God, yeah. I think that's kind of offensive that they're calling Benton. Is it Benton, Iowa? Benton, Illinois. It's Benton,
Yeah.
Illinois. I feel like it's kind of offensive to name that city Crappy Lake
Maybe isn't there? I assume there was a place called Crappy Lake.
yeah, because it's for the fish that are called crappie. But
Oh,
there
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's I guess
How do you know
apparent-
about that?
I looked up what crappie technically means, and it's a type of fish. So when you say Crappy Lake, it's
okay.
a fish that populates.
It's like Trout Lake
but
or
they're
something.
definitely it's a play on the
Of
term
course.
shitty.
Yeah, they're doing like Schitt's Creek.
Could you imagine though if somebody came to your small town and said, "Hey, let's bring two people to come to your shitty town and just call it that"?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of offensive?
I bet they love them though.
Who? Sonia and
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they definitely do. Did you just do one?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, right. It was Ashley Darby, and she's talking about taking her baby's crap. Okay. Heather DuBrow, she gave this stinker to the world. No one's life is perfect, but mine is pretty close. Okay, not a lot of nuance or fun there. We know Heather thinks her life is perfect.
Yeah.
She acts like it's perfect. She acts like she's perfect. And so, yeah, just not a fun tagline, right?
Yeah.
But very indicative of Heather.
This is so hard because there's so many, it's like, is it not clever? Is it
Right.
annoying? Is it
Or-
stupid?
Right.
Is it like there's so many versions? So I feel like I have a bit of both. And this one, this could almost be honorable mention. I put on like a separate section that's honorable mention, but I put it in worst just because it's weird. It's the iconic, a Jew and an Asian walked into a bar. Then they had me.
Whose tagline was
That was
that?
Jules Weinstein from Roni,
Oh,
the
wow.
tall, pretty woman who was obsessed with being half Asian and half Jewish.
Was she the one who was talking about how like her dad was really, really sick, and she's trying to talk to Luann about it, and Luann was not even listening to her
And
and
they were
saying
like
how she's-
smoking cigs.
Yeah, outside of Bluestone Manor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jules, didn't get a very fair shake there.
No, she was kind of like a sad figure.
Yeah.
But I thought that one was jarring.
Yeah. My last one is also, I didn't want to go with full Orange County ones early
Yeah.
season, even though those are the worst.
Yeah.
I thought Tinsley's one of her taglines was, "Come on, why cook when I can order room service?" I just thought, I don't know, that must have been related to something that happened in the previous season or whatever. But it's just there's nothing fun about that, and everyone says that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's just very bottom of the barrel, not fun, not catchy or anything.
Yeah. I love that all the ones that either of us say, I will remember having just read the one that you just said.
Oh, really?
Like I just read them all this
right,
morning.
Right. Oh, you did.
I went through city by city because that website we used had them in ranked order, and I didn't want to read them in ranked order because I didn't want it to bleed into my ranking. So I read the cities in order of their airing. So I did OC. Oh my gosh, I get so scared to do the order. It's OC New York, Atlanta,
then New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on
Beverly
your own.
Hills.
Yeah, I think so. First 5. So you did that? You went all in.
DC.
Whoa.
Potomac.
Whoa.
No, DC, Dallas.
Where does Miami fit in there? Way later?
Oh wait, Miami is early. Miami was Miami before Beverly Hills.
I really don't know the chronology. I even read that book, Not All Diamonds and Rosé, and it goes chronologically, but I can't remember.
I know. I always get so confused. I can do like the first 4, but after that I get a little confused. Okay, so I'm trying to decide which one to do. This one is dumb. It's just money doesn't give you class. It just gives you money.
Whose was that?
Brandy.
That was Brandy's?
It just gives you money.
Yeah. I would have higher hopes for Brandy. That's a bummer. It really, I think what you said is that this kind of let me know that the taglines are not as iconic as you think. They're
right.
only I think the 10 we're going to talk about are probably the most iconic by far. And I don't even know if all of mine are iconic.
Totally.
Do you have any more bottom of the barrel?
I have a few. I already mentioned last week the charade. It says, call me a bad server because I always spill the tea, which is just such a crazy setup.
Yes.
Call me a bad server.
Well, first she's like, do you mind calling me a bad server for a second? And then when somebody says, hey, Sheree, you're a bad server, she's like, why? Because I'm always spilling the tea, right? It's like you're asking for
Yeah, some of the setups are truly unhinged. I also wrote down Dorinda's, like a mint in my mouth, I can be a bit fresh. And I'm like, why are we talking about a mint in your mouth?
Yeah, who said
what?
Yeah, you had a mint in your mouth? I don't even remember that one.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Okay.
So I'm going to say my honorable mentions for the top. Yeah. For some reason, I really like this one, and it was from a housewife that I wouldn't expect.
Uh-huh.
It's Mirror, mirror on the wall, I don't think I look 40 at all. First of all, that's Melissa, which, I didn't know Melissa, killed it with taglines.
That must have been pretty recent then, right? She's not much older than 40.
I find the setup, mirror, mirror on the wall. Anytime you say mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm listening.
Aren't there a few? I feel like there's a few tropes that you start to notice when you read them all in a row.
Like a rhyme?
Or just the
start of a...
for instance, when you look at the Dallas ones, a lot of bull.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm not taking your bull.
Yeah, right.
Because it's and
a lot of
Texas
plays on
horns.
class and yeah. So mirror, mirror on the wall. I don't think I look 40 at all. I just think it's kind of fun that you wanted to talk about being 40, that you don't look 40, and it had that fun. It's rhyming, and it starts with mirror, mirror on the wall. I thought that was interesting.
That was fun.
Honorable mention.
Yeah.
Do you find any merit to that?
It's cute.
Okay.
I like it. I've featured, my honorable mentions are more for, my favorite honorable mentions are the kooky ones.
Okay.
So I think I kind of mentioned this one last week, but when life gives you lemons, put 9 in a bowl.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Because her first season, she talked about having a bunch of lemons or something.
Part of her crazy feng shui operations in her house include always having 9 lemons in a bowl.
All right. Yeah, that's
so
fun.
it's a callback.
Okay, that's cool. I have another honorable mention, but it's Heather Thompson's. Was her last name Thompson? And I just don't feel, I'll just be fully honest, I don't feel comfortable committing to her tagline. So I think you know which one I'm talking about.
I wrote down all 3 that include the H word.
I feel reticent to go in because I cringe when Heather says it. So I can't.
I'll go through. I'll say all 3.
Okay.
I'm stronger than anything in my way. Holla! A true New Yorker never backs down, and I'm no exception. Holla! My success is built on making women look and feel their best. Holla!
So she did it twice or 3 times.
3 times.
Wow. And she loved it. It was like she was doubling down and then triple down on it. Because I feel like people thought it was cringe the first time she did it.
Hey, mama.
Yeah, you have to admit
Holla.
it was fun when she called people
Holla
mama.
at your girl, mama. Like, absolutely insane.
Yeah, it was fun when she called people mama, you have to admit.
Yummy tummy.
I loved Heather. Like, I think she's so iconic. I really
Mm-hmm.
loved her for all 3 seasons. And the season where they had to pick up after Bethany and they hired Carol, Heather, and Aviva was iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a good rebrand for Roni. They fit in really well. But then when Heather came back, when Bethany was a cast member, she had the most cringe moment in Roni history was how she acted towards Bethany. She went like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, like she like melted down
Yeah.
and just couldn't
The
hang anymore.
dynamics were off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like Heather?
I liked the early days. I liked her storyline with her son. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
very
Yeah.
humanizing.
Yeah.
And she felt like real, it was a good pick, I think, in the, she had her Diddy fashion connections. Like she was a real like wheeler and dealer,
Right.
which was fun.
Yeah. The Sonia toaster oven stuff is iconic.
Oh my God. Yeah. That like
Yeah.
photo shoot. Okay. Another honorable mention is I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm pretty.
So that's an honorable mention for good. Okay. Yeah, I like that one.
It's just like insane though.
Yeah, it is. It's yeah. Kristen Takeman, is that
Yeah.
her name? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one is very memorable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any other honorable?
No, just I said the Heather one, and then I said Mirror Mirror on the Wall.
Okay.
So you want to do top 5?
Sure. I just have one honorable mention
Okay.
specific to us is get the Pinot ready because it's turtle time.
Now, what would make you think that one should be shouted out?
Because I like Pinot and our podcast is called Turtle Time.
Yeah, yeah, that is great. And yeah, I think it was interesting that Ramona said the words turtle time at one point in the past. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like who would have thought?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'll post maybe I'll post on Patreon the full list because I have like 10 honorable mentions. It's just every single one that made me have a little chuckle.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll post that.
Okay, you want to get into our top 5 non-honorables, just full blown?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like scary. I feel very vulnerable.
Me too.
But in full honesty, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But then I highlighted 5. So I'll stick to the 5 that I chose out of my top 13. But I'm conflicted about if they're my true favorites of my favorites.
Yeah. And I'm just sticking with mine. They're captured in amber for all time. These
Okay.
are my top 5. My first top 5 is if you're going to talk about me behind my back, at least check out my great ass. So
That was in my honorable
Oh, it
mentions.
is? Okay. So I love Carol. I think she's one of the best housewives of all time. She's so cool and fun. I like that for some reason she decided to talk about her great ass as her tagline.
Great ass.
You got a great ass. I like that she just went for it. She is identifying that she has a great ass. No, not a lot of housewives talked about their ass.
Yeah.
And it seems sort of out of character for Carol.
Her
So it's-
derriere.
yeah, so it's fun to hear her talk about it. If you're going to talk about me behind my back, at least check out my great ass. It sounded uncharacteristic, and I liked it. I think it's fun. But it's definitely because it's Carol saying it.
Right. It does make you start to be like, does she have a great ass?
Yeah, you have to think about it.
And then I think people agree that she does.
Yeah, I think they comment on Carol's body a lot the first couple
Yeah.
seasons. Like, they really like Carol's body.
My main memory about her body is that she doesn't weigh enough to give blood.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. And do you remember her treacherous stairs in her apartment?
Yeah.
Whew, those were scary, her
Scary.
going down them.
Yeah.
And she'd have kids over, and I was like, don't let those kids go up those stairs.
But they're pretty.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what's yours?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this was really hard to choose out of this person's, but I decided to choose. I'm like, no, I'm sticking to it. I'm passionate about dogs, just not crazy about bitches.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I'm thinking about all-timers. that's top 5 for me. But I restricted myself to only one from this particular housewife, which we'll just name it. That was Elisa Vanderpump. So she says crazy. What was the tagline again? I'm
passionate about dogs, just not crazy about bitches.
Yeah. It's perfect. I mean, it's related to Lisa. We know she's passionate about dogs. You gotta love that, they call female dogs bitches.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for Lisa. That's a great tagline.
Her top ones are the best of all time.
Yeah, so I've got one in here, just so you know.
Great.
Should I do it now? Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, right. It's like we're talking about it. I think this is my favorite, but I'm just going to do it now because we're on a Lisa zone. But this is my favorite tagline. And I think it's the one when I heard it when like Megan would be watching Beverly Hills, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Like there is something interesting about that. It's throw me to the wolves and I shall return leading the pack.
It's amazing.
It gives me chills. Throw me to the wolves. The imagery of that is so wild. Imagine throwing Lisa to the wolves. You're like, Lisa, go out into the woods. You have to live on your own. And you're going to have to create a society with the wolves that are out there.
In that valley underneath the vista at Villa Rosa.
Yeah, or like the Beauty and the Beast woods when they're going up to the Beast's house. And it's like that horrible dark woods with wolves. You throw Lisa out there. You left her to die with the wolves. She will return. And I love it says, I shall return.
I shall return.
Talk about poetic, literary, beautiful.
She's serving hero's journey.
Yes.
In this.
Yes. Throw me to the wolves and I shall return. I shall return. Like you thought I was dead out there? I'm coming back. 6 months later, I'm coming back and I'm leading the pack. She comes back to Villa Rosa. She's got 6 wolves. She's the alpha leading them back. I think that is so amazing.
It's really good. You're making me wish that I chose that one because it is better.
Oh, but, no. Oh, no. I'm glad we talked about it.
But the thing is that they run the gambit. So like that one is so amazing. But then this isn't, I'm just like tangent. We are just talking about the Lisa ones now. But I like the one, life is a sexy little dance, and I like to take the lead, which I assume that was while she was on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Which is fucking great.
Yeah, totally. And what I learned, it's so good. What I learned from this is by far, Lisa has 3 or 4 iconic taglines, and I didn't want to do too many Lisas.
Yeah.
Hers are poetic,
Yep.
well-written, literary, fun, full of puns. They almost are the quintessential
They're perfect.
tagline.
Totally.
Then I realized Bethany's are not iconic at all, which is surprising because I would feel like Bethany is also a wordsmith.
Yeah.
So with words, she would be poetic. You think she's, I don't know. I just thought Bethany would be in competition with Lisa for some reason. Hers are stinkers.
Pretty bad. I liked there was one that was like, when life gives me lemons, I make margaritas, which was a good
Lemons? When life gives me limes? If she did lemons, then I rest my case. When life hands me 9 lemons, I make margaritas out of them. I mean, she had to reference.
I mean, it was like for the comeback after she sold, the margarita.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm sure you're right.
Well, it was something like
when
that.
life hands me a bunch of limes, which no one ever has said, I make a margarita. I don't know, but doesn't that? I feel like that just adds more fodder to the case where Bethany's artist.
When life gives me limes, I make margaritas.
When life gives me limes.
All right, maybe that gets demoted. I just liked that you're like, at the very least, you're like, after that was a big news story, you'd be like, she makes margaritas. I get it.
Yeah. It's fun to reference margaritas, but she really had to. I mean, the phrase is when life hands you lemons.
Yeah, totally.
And also, I mean, Shannon did that, but I guess Bethany was before. Anyway, I learned Bethany doesn't have as many iconic as I thought.
Yeah, and as we've discussed with LVP, life isn't all diamonds and rosé, but it should be literally the sanctioned Bravo book they call Diamonds and Rosé.
You know what was shocking is that Lisa didn't agree to appear in that book.
Oh.
Most of the heavy hitters, like I think Nene from each franchise, once they found out that like someone wasn't doing it, like Lisa, Bethany, they all just didn't be a part of that book. It was kind of awful.
Yeah.
They left Lisa's voice out. They left Bethany's voice out. They left Nene's voice out.
Boo.
Bad.
Yeah.
All right, who did last? I just did one, right?
Yeah.
I did my leading the pack.
Yeah. This one is not particularly clever, but it feels canon to me.
Okay, go for it.
I don't keep up with the Joneses. I am the Joneses.
Yes, and
That's
that
Nene.
was Nene's?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like it.
Yeah, I love it too. Nene was who I was looking for iconic catchphrases, and so I have a Nene as well.
Okay.
For me, Nene, Bethany, and Lisa were who I was looking towards for having iconic taglines. So my favorite Nene is, why be so nasty and so rude when I can be so fierce and so successful? So first of all, I love that because it's a reference to when I forget who called her so nasty and so rude at the reunion, and she says so nasty and so rude.
I use that GIF all the time because I'm a million years old.
Yeah,
I still use the GIFs.
And it was so amazing. I love how she said so nasty and so rude. I love that it tied into how she was treated in the reunion, and I think it's iconic.
It's so funny. Yeah.
My last two, just so you know, I burned my best two because of the order we're going in. So my last two are actually like kind of lame.
Not
now.
as good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to decide if... Okay. This one is like out of left field, and it's just, I think it's fucking funny.
That describes the one I'm going to do as my finale. I wonder if it's the same one. You go.
Okay. Call animal control because there's a cougar on the loose in the OC.
Oh, I love that one, and that's so much better. And I swear I didn't even see any of Kelly's taglines. I don't know what I was thinking. I love the way she says that.
There's a cougar on the loose.
It's like she's never said those words before, and she's saying it for the first time. What was the start of it again? It's
call animal control.
It starts with an amazing, what's that called? Setup.
Yeah.
Call animal. It's like, okay, I've got him on the phone, Kelly. What do you want to say? And then she says,
there's a cougar on the loose in the OC.
Yeah, and the way she says it is amazing. That's a great one. Wow, I wish I would have. Man, that's a good tagline.
It
Kelly
makes me
brought
laugh
it.
so hard.
Yeah,
I read my top picks to Jimmy this morning, and when I did cougar on the loose, he was like, "Oh, that one for sure."
Okay, yeah.
He like loves that one.
It's very good. Okay, I'm gonna do mine. It's not as iconic as Lisa or Nene, but it's one of my favorites. It has a poetic bent to it, which I think are my favorites. The Phoenix has risen, and I'm saying, bye, ashes.
I love it.
Did you put it on your top 5?
I think I gave it honorable mention.
Okay, good.
Because that is a reference to when she said, when Kenya,
Yes.
or she said to Kenya, bye, Ashy.
Bye, Ashy. To Kenya. She calls her Ashy. She says it a lot. So then her second season, she references it, and I like that they reference a phoenix, which rises from the ashes. And she doesn't say bye ashy. She says this phoenix has risen, and I'm saying bye ashes.
It's really good.
Powerful.
Totally. I wrote that down somewhere. I really like that one.
Good.
It's funny too.
Yeah.
Because the bye ashy is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably not going to like this one.
Heather DuBrow, Tamra. Oh my God.
I'm pint-sized, baptized, and highly prized. Come on.
I feel like that's the number one. Wasn't it like really top 10 on that real
has a great
taglines?
ring to it.
I'm pint-sized,
baptized,
baptized,
and highly prized.
and highly prized.
Highly prized is an insane thing to say. I don't even know what that means, but I just like how it feels on the ear.
Yeah, well, they were searching for what rhymes with baptized. But this is the season after she got baptized. So she's pint-sized. Okay, I'll take that. She's baptized. We just knew that she got baptized last season. And she's highly prized. They're like, oh, yeah, Tamara's highly prized.
I like the 3.
Yes, I think that's very fun. But that would have been nowhere near my top 5. But I'm
I
glad
like it
you
a lot.
referenced it.
She also, I wrote down, there's another one that's like a rule of 3s for her that I was between. That is, these days, faith, family, and fitness are the only Fs I give.
Oh.
Which is nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because it paints a whole picture, you know?
Instead of fucks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that one's good. I didn't choose any Tamaras except that bad one that I said. Okay, my last one I'm okay with. It's not my favorite. I already said Lisa's is my favorite, but this one I think deserves to be in the pantheon of good taglines. It's, sometimes Sonia has to go commando. What can I say? And it's a non sequitur. I don't remember. I guess Sonia had a commando era. I think when she was she had that party in her like wine cellar or whatever, and they were like, "This is the worst party." Yeah. And then I just like the "what can I say?"
Yeah.
It's like, what else can I do?
And
I
that's
always
that.
go commando. Yeah. Do you like that
yeah,
one?
I do.
Okay, good.
I also liked the one that was like, if being Sonia is wrong, why does it feel so right?
Yes.
And it's like, why is being Sonia wrong?
Yeah. Why'd you say that? Yeah, Sonia has some great ones.
There's so many where you're like, what do you mean?
Right. Yeah. What are you trying to say?
They'll be
about
like, if such and such is a truth, then this
Then-
and this is whatever. And you're like,
I
who
didn't-
said that?
Yeah, I didn't accept that as truth.
It's like the Atlanta. Who said that?
Right.
Who said that?
Yeah.
And this one, again, I feel like we kind of like in the tease talked about some of these, but
Okay.
I do like, despite her being our enemy, I'm an acquired taste. You don't like me? Acquire some taste.
No, I love that one. I love that turn of phrase. I think it's so fun. And people do say, I get the pretense of that.
Yeah.
Ramona is an acquired
Totally.
taste. I acquired taste, and I love Ramona.
Yeah.
I know we're in a legal battle now for the rights to Turtle Time, but that's a great one. Is that your final
Yeah.
5?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And she also, the other tongue twister that she has that I put next to it is, age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like hers are, it's almost like a riddle.
Yes. Yeah, hers require some thinking. And I will say, I got to give it to you. The get me a Pinot Grigio because it's turtle time. That one was just, it's like referencing her 2 most iconic moments, and
Yeah.
it barely makes sense, but it is a perfect tagline.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to ever reference the fact that we knew that the words turtle time existed before our podcast, but it's true.
Totally.
You got to give her credit for that.
Yeah. And I know we were trying to remember what the Shannon one was, and I wrote it down. It's, I've closed the old B door and opened a new one.
Why did I not say that one? I talked about that being my favorite. Can you say it again?
I've closed the old B door and opened a new one.
I've closed the old Bedore because her last name was Bedore.
Yeah.
And I've opened a new one. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
She also has a different one that
The
I didn't.
Storms.
Yeah, like this Storms is gonna be okay. Like,
Yeah.
something
Weather
about
the
her last
batten
name.
down the hatches because Shannon. Well,
It's
yeah.
like this storm is coming through, or
Yeah.
something like that.
I like that she has a lot of plays on her last name. Not a lot of them
Totally.
do that. How come Tamara has never said I'm the judge, jury, and executioner or something?
There might have been one. No,
I don't know.
I don't know. I wrote down one. I know you hate Lisa Rinna, but she said honorable mention for me in the game of life. It's Rinna take all.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'll give
Come
her that
on.
one. Rinna and Winner. That's pretty good. She has one about her lips, too, that I didn't like.
There's like so many about lips. I skipped all of those.
Yeah. So, I mean, we didn't name any good Erica ones.
No.
We didn't name any good Bethany ones. That's wild.
Yeah.
Except I gave her a dud of the week.
Yeah.
With New York City is my playground. Who else? Well, we got to get out of the tagline era, but
Yeah.
Lisa, you have to say is the best. We both had her on
Totally.
our top 5. Both of hers are just far and away, I think, what you think of when you think of a very good tagline or a catchy tagline.
Yeah.
But then you don't realize how many flops there are.
Totally. Can I quickly read some of these freak show ones I have at the bottom?
The answer is yes.
Okay. One is Phaedra that just made me laugh. Only God can judge me, and he seems quite impressed.
Oh, I like that. That's really sweet.
Nene, I'm the glue for my wig and my family.
Yeah.
You're the glue for your wig?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Nene is the glue for her wig and for her family. Nene's were slightly less iconic than I thought. You know what I wanted to include was Kenya's don't come for me unless I send for you.
Uh-huh.
But I realized that's not a tagline. That was something
She
she
just said it, yeah.
And then she had to change it and make it more iconic, which is don't come for me unless I twirl for you.
Right.
Which I don't think makes as much sense.
And then Candy had one that was like, don't check for me unless you've got a check for me.
Oh, I like that one. I actually like Candy's this season.
Well, she's
or
a
last season.
wordsmith.
Yes. I like I never miss a beat or a
Yeah,
bag.
yeah.
That one's kind of fun too.
I may be small. Oh.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that one, but we had already referenced
Yeah.
it, right?
But my empire keeps growing.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I grew up a carny kid. Play games with me and you're going to pay.
Who the hell grew up as a carny kid?
Leanne Locken, Dallas.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched Dallas.
That's like the most stunning detail of like almost any housewife is that we have one that was a carny.
Does she talk about being a carny?
A lot.
Does she talk about, was she the person in the dunk tank?
She was like a child, like running feral, and her parents were carnies. So I would say that's a reason to watch.
What did she say? What games was she doing? Any of the like? Was she the one who was putting Vaseline on the cup so that the ball doesn't go in?
Yeah,
and
like the goldfish in the jars and all that.
Wow, Carney Kid. I should watch Dallas just for the Carney Kid.
It's pretty
legends.
wild.
Okay.
I just want to know how you feel about, because I feel like this one has seen the New York federal court. The only thing I'm guilty of is being shamazine.
Whose was that?
Jen Shaw.
Really? She
The
says.
only thing I'm guilty of is being Shaw-mazing.
Okay. So I only watched the first season of Salt Lake City, so I know I have to watch the second season. She's saying Shaw Amazing like her last name.
Yeah.
And was it because there were starting to be
Yeah.
whispers of
It was
a
after the feds. I think it was after she was arrested, but before she was convicted.
Okay.
So she denied it until her dying day, until the very end, and then she admitted it and was convicted.
And Shaw Amazing is a play on her last name?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Do I need to, I have to watch Salt Lake City at some point, right?
I think it kind of grew on me.
Okay.
It took me a while, but it definitely got more interesting.
I just got the vibes that they've been raised on Housewives, so they know what
Totally.
works. And
No,
it's-
that's annoying.
Yeah.
But it gets a little better.
Okay.
And this one was also Salt Lake. Whitney Rose said, "This Rose isn't scared to handle a little prick."
This Rose, her, isn't scared to handle, you'd think, a prick from a rose, right?
Yeah.
But it's like she's being pricked by the rose.
But like, to me, my brain is like, does she mean a dick?
Wait, can you say it again?
This Rose isn't scared to handle a little prick.
and she's on Salt Lake City?
She's married.
Does she have a horny lifestyle with her
Yes.
husband? Oh, okay. Then it is. Do you think that's the first,
But that's so weird to call it a little prick.
yeah, I mean, do you think it has to be a reference to his penis?
It must be, right?
I'm a rose.
Because it's handle.
Yeah,
You know?
handle a little prick. I'm surprised Bravo would
Because
let.
otherwise it would be like, this Rose can take a little prick or something. But
Right.
it's like, handle a little prick.
Yeah. Okay. And she's pretty sexually horny with
Horny
her
for
husband.
sure, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. I would say it's definitely referencing.
She was
his-
on Girls Trip,
Okay.
the Thailand one.
Oh yeah. I only watched 3 episodes of that because I started to think it was bad.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last one, I just did 3 Salt Lake in a row. Mary Cosby, "If you come for me, I will send Jesus after you."
All right.
Which
That was-
I didn't know Jesus did that.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to be blasphemous, but yeah, I think that works. And I have no further comment. That is interesting. She's really religious, right?
Yeah, she's like a cult leader, basically.
Whoa. She was doing sort of nefarious stuff with her congregation, right?
Totally.
I think this is unanimously accepted, but you don't want to go to church where you find out your pastor is rich as hell.
Right.
Who would want
It's
that?
like the righteous gemstones.
Yeah. I would never. I think that's not blasphemous to say. If
No.
I was, if I was religious, I would not want to see my pastor
You want
pull
a
up in a
man of the cloth.
Yeah, I want a poor pastor,
Totally.
right? Middle
He
class.
should be wearing like a potato sack.
Yeah, a potato sack. No, I don't mind if they are wearing full clothes that anyone could approximate as clothes, but I don't want them rich as hell.
You don't want your pastor to be like, "I have a taste for luxury, and luxury has a taste for me."
Whose tagline was that?
So, yeah. That was in my backup top.
That's good. I do not want the pastor of my hypothetical congregation to be rich as hell and say a quote like that.
Yeah.
Never. I don't know, but if that's offensive, you let me know. I mean,
Offensive to who? That's
I don't know. Maybe people want their pastors to be rich because it means they're, I don't know, successful and doing
pastors are getting canceled left and right for doing shit like that.
good.
So.
All right. Well, yeah. And I haven't been to church in a while. Maybe they do stuff differently now.
Should we start going to church?
Yeah. Would you want to? That sounds fun. Yeah. Let's do church. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready to talk about? I think we should, because it's an hour and a half in. This is when we really start to get going. An hour and a half in, I think we should talk about a very, in my opinion, sort of boring, bad, flop episode of Real Housewives of Orange County. It's episode 4, and I forget the title, but it was another very bad title. What was it
You
called?
can't DB serious.
You can't DB. Serious. What? 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 You can serious. So the phrase that people know is you can't be serious.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they talked about IMDb
Yeah.
so much, it's
And I was also like, is it DuBrow?
ooh,
But
right.
it's one
what-
name, so
Yeah, and you wouldn't do DB as an acronym for DuBrow, but they probably were thinking of that.
I am DuBrow.
Oh, they should have said that. I was thinking it just made me think that the writers are definitely on strike. Someone said, I think that the writer's strike coincided with when writers were coming in to do taglines and titles naming. So they're all on strike now, and that's why someone at Bravo, they like gave that to someone, and
We cut it closed.
I couldn't believe that they had another title that was almost as bad. So how did you feel just starting?
Yeah,
this
it was pretty
conversation?
boring.
Oh,
I thought
man.
that the last ones at first were boring, but I think this one was worse.
Yeah, so I didn't like the first three. I liked talking about them with you, and when we put them all together, there was a
They
lot of
formed to something,
fun
yeah.
moments. But I have never ever seen more time spent to getting ready for a trip and buying clothes for the trip
Yeah.
than this.
I know they couldn't just all go to one store. It had to be two competing cowboy stores.
No, and it wasn't even that. It was not even limited to those two scenes. Heather then tries on more clothes. Shannon tries on a masked bandit thing. Eddie gives Tamra clothes,
Yeah.
boots. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
We had to watch almost 30 minutes.
Gina's like digging around in her shithole closet.
What was going on? They were starved for content that they couldn't make that just
Quick.
2 scenes.
Yeah.
And also, I said, I don't know if you listened to my TikTok, but the fact that they had Ryan, Tamara's son, available to help them
Right.
shop for Western clothes, and they don't even allude to the fact that he had just dressed up like a
Full
full-blown
Western.
missed opportunity.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
But, I mean, it was the episode before.
totally.
And then they don't even reference the fact that he dresses like a cowboy now.
Right. I bet he's the one that told them to go to those stores.
So you agree with me that it was a little too much time spent trying on hats, trying on chaps.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially because where they're going is essentially a luxury resort and it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I just by the time they got to the 5th scene where Heather's like, "Where are my boots?" I was like, "Damn, how many scenes are going to be referencing this Montana trip? Get to Montana."
Yeah. They don't get there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you thought this was a flop.
Pretty much.
I only liked. We'll talk about it, but there were 2 scenes that sparked my interest, but 2 scenes out of 20.
Yeah.
That's a bad ratio.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn. People are
As
saying this is a breath of fresh air, and they love that this drama is less dark and more playful, and they say it's quintessential OC, and I don't concur with that opinion. It's just not
yeah.
good or fun.
Yeah. It's kind of just like low energy.
Yeah. All right.
As a casting director, is that
Me.
what you-
Yeah. I would consider myself that.
Do you think Annabelle has what it takes? Emily's daughter.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So the first scene, Annabelle is being taken to Los Angeles,
Yeah.
where we live.
That's right.
She goes to an agency. I think it's called a very, very nondescript LA model agency. Had a
Something
really
like
kind
that.
of a
Yeah.
kind of a bad name.
Yeah.
Annabelle gets in there and she sort of knocks their socks off. She is giving Christmas Day. She's giving clean your room.
Yeah.
She's giving hair flip. And I thought, well, first of all, I was like, could you imagine if Emily gets the call next episode and they're like, I'm so sorry. Annabelle didn't have what it takes to be on our modeling roster.
Yeah.
After cameras showing up, after
Yeah.
her doing all that stuff. Yeah, she definitely got what it takes. I mean, I think you just want a vibrant personality
Yeah.
and you want someone who has range, and Annabelle really showed that.
Yeah. She doesn't seem scared
No.
of adults.
She's good.
I was thinking of, because they were talking about before they got there what she should do if they shake her hand, and they did shake her hand, and I was like, do you remember the first time, like, would you shake a child's hand? Is that what you, is that's so
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, you ask. Yes, every child I meet, I shake their hands. Who? Wait, did she? Oh, wait, Emily told Annabelle to remember to shake their hands?
Yeah, she said they kind of did a like mock, like, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to say thank you or like good to meet you or whatever? And she said something about shaking their hands. And then when she met these adults,
Yeah.
they shook her hand.
I think it's definitely better than a hug.
Right. That would be weird.
Yeah, I didn't need this scene. I mean, I'm glad Annabelle's on an acting journey. I definitely think she should be cast in a lot of stuff. They ended up saying it's more, this is kind of interesting. They were like, it's more really about the parents at this age.
Totally.
If you can get them anywhere, if you can pick up the phone call, because they were right. Casting directors want answers immediately. I'm casting something right now, and if an agent takes more than an hour, I'm already thinking about how to just go to the next person. Like, you want instant communication. So that was true, what they said.
So is it implied that now Emily is fully a mom? She's not working anymore because Shane is working?
I think Emily now accrues enough income from the show. She's on her, is she on her 3rd season or 4th season?
Maybe more. 4?
4?
Must be.
So she's doing good. Shane's also ripping, making money. So and she's probably getting deals, So I think her income is good enough to where she doesn't have to work as hard. And I think she is focused more on the kids and also the show, making the show her focus. Definitely, because we're not hearing anything about her lawyer journey.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had one of her taglines was about judge, jury, something.
Oh, what?
There was like a legal one for her that was fun, but I don't remember.
Also, Annabelle, like the way Annabelle was very interested in plays and seems very performative and like upbeat and like has an interest for this, it kind of dispels the like stage mom myth, because I don't think of Emily at all as like pushing Annabelle towards this life. It seems like Annabelle naturally is just charismatic, fun, loves the play, acting or whatever. So that was like kind of cool. It's like to see a legitimate kid who's interested in the arts and wasn't just forced by their parents to like pursue this.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she seems like she enjoys it. So yeah, then there's like 500 hours of them shopping.
Oh man. And it's I don't know what the enjoyment of, do they think it's just the dichotomy of the OC and them wearing cowboy hats is just so powerful that you can't deny it? Like, it's going to be so fun to see them putting on boots. And
I guess I did like when Shannon walked into the store and she's like, oh wow, this place is like funky, and then she said that she wants to wear Oshkosh be gosh.
Yeah, I liked that. And Gina says, do they even make that anymore? Sort of mean.
Yeah.
So what did you write down here? I wrote that Shannon came out in overalls, which I kind of liked. Right?
Yeah.
Just kind of fun. And then I think they realize they go to 2 different stores. They go to Landers Western Shop, and they go to Boot Barn. And I was like you said, why the hell couldn't you guys all shop together? But it's because they had to talk about the drama in 2 separate spots. They had to talk about the Shannon and Tamra drama. That's why Shannon goes with Emily and Gina. And then Jen went with Heather and Tamra, right? And then Gina continues her journey of thinking Jen is a cheating piece of shit that she doesn't want to be near. And then every time you see Jen is just a nice, normal, sweet person who should not have to explain any more the timeline of her relationship. Did you watch What Happens Live after?
Yes.
Even S.E. Cup was like, enough of this
she was
Jen.
like, I don't give a shit.
Just like us.
It's not my business.
I sort of was maybe feeling bad that we didn't care about the infidelity of a cast member, but I mean, there's more proof that people are over this.
Yeah, it's just
garbage.
It doesn't matter. Like, she's on good terms with her ex-husband, so who cares?
And I feel like Gina, this is the episode where she finally drops it, but it takes her a few more flops of talking about it before she like fully gives up.
Which, it's crazy that during this, they just insert basically it's not never before seen, but it's an unused scene of her talking to her ex about dropping her felony charges against him. And I'm like, why the fuck aren't we talking about this?
I have a huge star next to that, and I wanted to ask you. So I like Gina scenes. I just turn off my brain because I just can't. I barely can watch Gina in scenes.
Yeah.
But she did have wild. Didn't her ex-husband like pull her by the hair and drag her out of the house?
Yeah, like they got in a fight and then
like a domestic abuse.
Yeah, like charge. She left and then came home and he like broke the door down. Like there was a whole thing.
And now it's all about dropping that charge
right.
and trying to get the felony reduced so that he can see the kids.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like we're taking enough time with that story, which seems very. I want to know, how did Gina and Matt come to this this decision where they got fully over that horrific event in
well,
there.
it was always a little weird. I feel obviously this is like a touchy
I know.
area, so I don't. Yeah, but it happened in kind of an odd way in that she had already forgiven him, or it wasn't that she was like in fear for her life or something like that and needed a restraining order.
Yeah.
It was like again, I'm not defending him at all. I'm just saying the way it unfolded happened kind of in slow motion where they had worked it out between themselves, but she decided to still press charges as just to have it on the record and for him to have to deal with what he did.
Yeah.
Which is, obviously like totally her prerogative to do so. But they were still on good terms after that. But it sounds like now they've realized that it is hurting the family at large in that he can't, when you're a felon, there's a lot of stuff you can't do.
Yeah. And he can't see the kids as much as he would like to.
Yeah.
As well.
And like, I think he like can't get a loan and like
so
can't get a job.
She regrets.
Which I'm not saying she shouldn't have done it, but now she's trying to undo it.
Yeah.
Because she's realizing that, he can't support the family as much as he would want to because we persecute felons.
Yes, but then the fact that that's just like a black and white flashback scene that we're
I
not
know.
really
I'm
even
like
seeing.
that's like a huge interesting thing.
But I just don't buy that Gina is so horrified by Jen's infidelity story. It just seems like this is the little piece of drama that she wants to bring with her everywhere.
Right. She keeps bringing it up. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, me too. It's flopping hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
They bring up Jen, Heather, and Tamara are talking about Ryan, and they bring up that he's a playboy and a cheater historically.
Yeah, so this was interesting.
Yeah, that was kind of shocking.
Yeah, Jen, I was Team Ryan. I was like, which, I haven't like fully switched, but she admits that Ryan has cheated in every single relationship he's been in his entire life.
Yeah, that's like kind of scary.
I know. And she's just trusting that this is the one that was like always meant to be. And but his track record is bad.
Totally.
And Heather, I think, and Tamara rightfully are skeptical of if he will cheat on her in the future. And I think, anyone would be if you heard that he had cheated in every single relationship. Mm-hmm. So this added a little more actual fuel to the fire of the Ryan and Jen dynamic. I was like, hey, leave them alone.
Totally.
But, okay, wait. Yeah. He's the biggest cheater in the world.
Yeah. And then in the very next scene, he's like, let's elope in Vegas. And I was like, are you like Dirty John?
Yeah.
I don't get Dirty John vibes, but
me neither.
If you're like a cheater, and then you finally get one of your girls to leave her husband and then you want to marry her right away, it seems like she has a good grasp on, like, she's like, no, like, let's not.
And then they had an off time, I guess, in their relationship when they were just starting up, and he went back and had sex with someone that he used to have sex with, too. He had a little dalliance.
Yeah. Someone Tamara knows.
Yeah.
When he was Theragunning her and they did a fake out, a classic, it was very Tamara and Eddie vibes.
Did you think they were making love?
I knew it was going to be a fake out.
Yeah, because the stuff they were saying wasn't it was very ambiguous.
She was like, harder.
Yeah.
It's like very silly. Also with that couple, I have no idea how old they are.
Who?
Jen and Ryan.
So Jen, I don't want to guess, but I also they're in.
They're just they have that look about them where you're like,
they're in
your
their
age range could be.
They're in their 40s, early 40s.
Yeah, but it's like.
Well, it could be.
I just don't know.
Yeah, me neither. I got very. I wrote very horny vibes from that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I think they do want the cameras to get out of the room so they can have sex with each other.
He wanted to take her in the shower, he said.
I think that's the one time where I legitimately believe that two people when the cameras went down, they just ran in the bathroom and had sex.
Yeah.
This wasn't a very good scene though, besides him Theragunning her, right?
No. Yeah, it was just kind of.
He just solidifies that this is the relationship he wants. It's even better than it was at the start. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was it.
I think they're a good couple.
Yeah, I really like them. And I sensed their sexual chemistry. I was proud of them.
For sure. Okay, now we're in Heather's closet. I know you love it.
Oh, yeah. I was like, how long can we talk about? First of all, it's Heather, and she's still getting ready for the Montana trip. So it's two of my favorite things.
Yeah, they, her and Terry go into their son's room, and it's like the weirdest teenage boy's room.
I didn't want to be a hater because last week I was talking shit for some reason about her family, but that room was kind of odd.
It's insane.
What was up with it? What
Well,
made it jarring?
The thing is that I've noticed because I don't know about you, but my childhood home, which my parents still live in, is like very small.
Yeah.
It's just like a normal house, and we've always lived there. So my childhood bedroom was very like built upon, like it happened organically over the course of my childhood, where it's like stickers on the wall, like
things you loved
just
came in gradually.
some of it is outdated and
Yeah.
more childish because you're still there when you're older, and it just kind of looks like a hodgepodge. The thing is with like rich people,
Yeah.
when they move, they build a house from scratch.
Yes.
And kids get to like design their room fresh.
So Nikki
It's
designed that?
weird.
He designed that
Well,
room?
I don't know, but it was giving like Heather's take on
Yeah.
a teen
Yeah.
boy.
I thought it was too rich for a kid's room.
Right.
Like kids are supposed to have sloppy, silly rooms. Like he
Yeah.
should have had a bunk bed, or he should have had a futon.
Yeah.
And he should have had Blink-182 posters
Yeah.
on the walls. He should have had a guitar, and he should have had a little pile of socks and underwear. I know it would have been too late, but it looked like a rich, it looked exactly what you said. Heather's version of what a fun kids room, but it didn't look fun at all. It
He had
one
a
stuffed
couple
animal.
silly pillows, like pineapples or something.
It was just one pineapple looking right at the camera when you walked in. It was kind of weird, like the shining bear when you walked in.
But yeah, that was like off-putting. It was strange. It looked like a 30-year-old man's bedroom.
It wasn't giving kid room.
No.
Well, I felt the same way, but I didn't want to talk shit. Oh, also, Heather said that she doesn't wear jeans after the pandemic, and I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you, what did she mean by that?
I was trying to figure that out too. I assume that she meant that we all decided that jeans are uncomfortable, but what she wears is certainly not comfortable.
Yeah, okay. It was about comfort.
That's what I think. That was the conversation that was happening during COVID, was that we're like yoga pants only.
But then she said free the denim, and did that mean like set it free, like throw it to the wolves?
I guess.
Free the denim. When you say free the denim, like when you say like free the nipple, it's
Right.
you're showing it.
Right.
So
The whole thing was confusing, and it would be one thing if, because like for me, I mean, I'm wearing jeans right now, but
me too.
when I am not going anywhere where I need to be presentable, 9 times out of 10 I wear yoga pants. And that was a COVID era transition where just like when I walk around the neighborhood or run errands, I'm pretty much always wearing yoga pants.
Yeah.
And jeans are like the next echelon above that. But Heather Dubrow is so dressy all the time that I didn't know what she was saying.
Yeah, it was like she was telling us that she is this, laid back comfort person and just doesn't go gel with her actual personality.
That's
no.
I also wrote down that because me and Jimmy were talking about how they're so rich,
Yeah.
and it's like, I know you would make a lot of money having your own practice, like you'd make a good amount of money, but they have like money.
Yeah.
And so I assume, because they've talked about how they've sold every house they've ever lived in, and
Yeah.
they just keep building upon that.
Yeah.
They sold this house that they're in this season that they built on the show. They sold it for $55 million.
Oh, I thought it was 20 million. It was more?
55. I looked
55.
it up. And then
Who's buying that? Millionaire?
like a chic.
Who the hell? 55 million. So I've already said this, but their level of wealth is obscene.
Yeah.
I don't like.
I mean,
can't
showing
look at it.
the kids going to college on a private jet, I'm like, come on.
But what were you going to say before I go to my tangent?
Just that they bought a $14 million penthouse in Century City
They did?
for their LA era.
So this is actually happening.
I guess so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why
It's
a penthouse?
designed by Roberto Cavalli.
Who's that?
He's a designer. It's probably going to be really tacky.
Why a penthouse?
I don't
Because they're going
know.
to keep an OC property and they want to have LA be a little more
Yeah.
like...
I mean, maybe she's going to shoot something at Fox. It's right there.
Okay. Wait, she's going to start a
And
pilot
it's-
of a new show?
Maybe. And then Beverly Hills is right there, where I assume he would be doing surgeries.
Yes.
So it's a good location for that.
So I sort of smelled a little bit of a flop era for Heather in this scene because they flash backed to her taking the children to school in a private jet.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of housewives, if their kid goes to college, especially two. Are they twins?
Yes.
Two twins going to college in a private jet. I mean, I feel like we would have normally seen that on, the full episode of that. I feel like the fact that they just cut that up and gave us two little pieces of that meant that it wasn't as entertaining as one would be led to believe.
I feel like the new Secrets Revealed era has made us so hyper aware of like unused footage.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
when something's the black and white, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Why didn't they use that?
Yeah, but traditionally though, don't you think cast members, kids going off to college, that's usually on the show. I'd say especially if Heather's like top 3 on OC. Right. I don't know.
I mean, I would have liked to see it. I thought it was actually sweet when she was like crying about them leaving and Terry was getting emotional, but then he makes a classic Terry joke where she was like, I just want a new phase because I don't want to live the same life here without the kids. I want something different in LA. And he goes, and plus the restaurants are just so much better.
Yes.
Which I do love that they have always been snobby about Orange County being kind of shitty. Yeah. Like they're like, there's money to be made down here and it's gorgeous obviously, but it's like Bobo down here.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that too. Well, as obviously I'm a LA fan more than an OC fan. So the fact that he confirmed we have better restaurants, I loved that. Yeah. I thought that was amazing. I also, he's put a pretty, I'd say somber note to the whole thing when he said, this is the beginning of the end of our lives. I was like, whoa. Sad. That's sad to admit. Yeah. I mean, once all of the children are gone out of the house, like it's the final era of their lives. Yeah.
I wonder, they should have a spin-off. They've had other shows. They should have a spin-off? I want a short, 6-episode order of them moving into their LA penthouse.
Yeah, I mean, I would see that. A special episode. How many did you say? 6?
No, maybe 3. Yeah. Terry and Heather take LA.
Yeah. But I assumed that they are in LA constantly. So much. Yeah. I mean, they probably just...
The spinoff should be on E, not Bravo.
Okay. Right. That's where Heather...
It could be in the botched universe.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this was more like them talking about, their children leaving. We didn't actually see the children leaving. But yeah, I don't know. That scene was okay. I mean,
yeah, it was kind of sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was sweet.
Shannon and her daughters. Shannon, can you imagine Shannon being your mom? She's like the most stressful woman.
Yeah.
The most high key.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine a world like that, something like that hypothetically existing. But yeah, it must be interesting to have someone like that. But yeah, it was this is where she puts on her masked her Mask of Zorro.
Yeah, the Lone Ranger.
Yeah. And her daughters just say, I don't think that's the vibe, Mom, right?
There's no way in hell they know about the Lone Ranger.
Oh, you don't think?
They don't know the original. They don't know the Army Hammer movie.
They don't know.
Remember when as a society, we let Johnny Depp play Tonto?
We were in a different, I remember I was, 14 when that came out, and I just let it happen. I don't remember.
You weren't that young.
Oh, when did it come out?
You were 25.
I remember I was 12 years old when that movie came out, and I just let
You might have been 28.
I was young as hell, just starting my life, and I let Johnny Depp portray the Lone Ranger in the film. I can't believe that. I also get confused because he was also Rango, that lizard.
Oh, right.
2 Western films,
then
right?
My brain was like, Rango Unchained. No.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I don't think we should have let that happen. But I think that was probably one of the last, what's that called? Cultural appropriation?
Yeah. And Army Hammer is just not hammering. It's just not going to happen for him.
You don't think he can come back?
No.
Okay.
I don't think he had enough star power in the first place.
Yeah, I didn't think he was ever a good actor.
No.
He's boring.
Yeah. Good in Social Network.
Arm and Hammer, because he's from that family, right?
It's not Arm and Hammer as in deodorant and or detergent. It's a different. It's so confusing. I implore you to look up the Wikipedia. Okay. It's Arm and Hammer was a billionaire from something else.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know,
Okay.
I don't remember what
So he
it
was
was,
named
like
after that
railroad or whatever.
A railroad
But
magnate.
then that man did buy Arm and Hammer.
Because he liked the sound
Yeah.
of that name.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. All right. And then Army Hammer is named after Armand. Is
Yeah.
that what you said? Armand Hammer, but not actually the deodorant. or
Right.
the-
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
He was rich as hell.
Totally.
What's he
I mean,
doing
he's
now?
in the Caymans.
Is he? That's where he is now. Is
Yeah.
he escaping not prosecution? Right.
No, just being canceled. But his family, like, I think generally lived there anyways, obviously, for the
Yeah. Tax.
money.
Yeah.
Like the Firm, you know?
Yeah.
Did we already talk about the Firm?
Never, and I love The Firm so much. It's what Tom Cruise discovers about that firm that he's working with.
Too good to be true.
What were they doing? They were, they were
They were
securing.
killing their own lawyers. There was like a scam.
but it was like to protect the money that was invested in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
That was John Grisham.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
It's fun.
Gene Hackman's in it.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to do this. I need a certified.
Oh my! Well, just for the listener, Amy had already done a certified turtle piss, and we weren't going to talk
It was
about it
1
because
hour ago.
it was 1 hour ago. But we're going to do it now. This is going to be official, and yeah, I'll probably take one too. All right, you're right, Amy. Thank you.
We're back.
How was it?
It was good. It was necessary.
Okay.
Okay, so we were talking about Lone Ranger, the Firm,
Armie
Shannon,
Hammer.
her daughters.
Yes.
Her
Now there wasn't much to
daughters.
that scene.
No.
If I remember correctly, it was just that she was like, "I'm going to put cameras on you when I go out of town."
Right. No boys upstairs.
Do you think they had boys?
Probably. Remember when they like all the teens got COVID and she melted down?
Because John's son, who she loves so much on that boat that one day, John's son brought COVID into the house, and Shannon has like a lung issue, like something
Asthma.
yeah, and so she was very scared of COVID, which I did think that's I actually kind of liked the COVID season.
Wow.
Because it was like a documentary on what we were all going through, but with people that we already know and like. So to see how they suffered through COVID, I know it's like it was a brutal reminder,
Right.
But I watched it like 2 years after, or once we were out of the COVID era, and it was
Yeah.
kind of interesting to go back to that mindset and just be like, God damn, that's what it
Yeah.
was like. Like you were worried about people coming in the house with COVID, groceries, toilet paper was gone. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like I'm already like that's already remarkable to me because I don't remember anything. I don't have a good memory, so
Yeah.
I was already kind of like shocked by what COVID was like.
Right. I thought it was funny on this season when Tamra was talking about all of the Jen and Ryan stuff. They kind of revealed that they were like, yeah, Ryan and Eddie went on a Mexico trip. It was, I think, April 2020, and like they were talking about like the gym, and I was like, how was your gym open, and how are you guys going to like on a plane in April 2020? Like what?
Yeah.
Like I think it was a different world down there.
Oh, right. Because March 2020 was right when everything like shut down.
And I'm like, we like in LA, generally we were fucked the whole rest of that year.
Yeah. It was like March 15th or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So crazy. Okay, so I think we kind of already talked about this. It's like the packing montage.
Yeah.
Eddie, I was for a second when Eddie brings Tamra those boots, he brings it, first of all, he presents it to her with very low energy.
Yeah, I'm really, really what is going on? Wondering. Oh wait, was the Tamra and Taylor scene before this one? Before the boots?
Oh, did I just like not write that down?
Well, no, it's okay. I
guess
this is the one scene that I thought had some juice here.
Yeah.
It was when I'm pretty sure it came in. Well, I don't know unless I wrote it down. Did I write it down wrong? This would be. Wouldn't be the first time I've wrote down bad notes. Did you have the first Taylor and Tamra scene where they go over Heather's IMDb?
I wrote that later, but
Okay. All right. Well then.
But-
no, you're right. Then let's just talk about it.
maybe it was different on the TV versus the Peacock.
Okay. Well, yeah. As long as you have in your notes,
Yeah.
I have it coming next. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that scene. I'm sorry. So that scene happened first, where Eddie gives those Louis Vuitton boots, and he sort of just goes, I don't want to do like, I don't want to impersonate him, but he's just kind of like, it's your birthday. Here's the
He's like
present
your
I got you.
favorite designer.
And then she goes, oh, I didn't tell you to get me gifts, but obviously I'll take it. And then he goes, here they are. They are boots. And she opens it and she goes, Louis Vuitton, my favorite. I can wear them on the trip. And he goes, no. It was.
I know for a second I was thinking, because he was wearing all his cut fitness stuff. And I was like, I mean, those boots are probably, I don't know, $1,000 at least.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cut fitness just clothes. Why are you buying expensive gifts? But then I remembered they have their cannabis business.
Right.
So they're probably popping on that.
Yeah, which is doing good. So I do think the Tamara and Taylor scene came before this, because we're going to get into the plane era.
Yeah.
But so I enjoyed this scene just because it features IMDb very prominently.
Yeah.
Which I'm a huge, I have IMDb Pro, not to brag.
Nice.
So like I am on IMDb a lot.
I have it in my,
good. Really? That's your bottom 4?
Yeah. Because I need to reference it quickly.
Whoa. I don't think I've ever seen IMDb in someone's bottom 4 main apps. That's great. What the hell was I talking about being in IMDb? You are way more.
I always need to know.
That's awesome. Okay. That's great. Yeah. And then IMDb Pro, for those of you who don't know, is where you can search any actor in the world and it shows their management and agents, and you can easily just call like WME or whatever. It just shows the representation for any actor, which before IMDb Pro, I don't know what the hell people did, casting directors or, production.
Totally.
So what happens in this scene is Tamara orders a wonderful ribeye. Like a huge, gigantic
It's so
steak.
big.
And then Taylor tells Tamara, she goes, hey, Tamara, just so you know, I have a little issue with Heather. When I invited her to go on set with me, for that part in the movie, Heather was really condescending to me.
Yeah.
And she goes, and then Taylor reenacts what Heather said, which is like, you're so cute, when she brought it up, which that is very patronizing.
For sure.
And normally when people are saying what people said, they sort of exaggerate or they're hyperbolic to make them look worse. Taylor was dead on.
They played it back.
And she did the voice perfectly.
Yeah.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
So then Taylor thought that Heather is dismissing her, like dismissing the project, thinking that this project is beneath her, which, I mean, fair concern.
Right.
9 times out of 10, I feel like that is Heather's attitude.
Right.
And then they say, then Taylor is like, well, actually, I offered her the part, not really knowing what her credentials were. And when I showed production who I was going to offer the part to, which this part doesn't make any sense.
No.
Taylor should not be casting people on her own
No.
and then without the knowledge of production. Then she said that production said, oh, with that IMDb, we would have to have her audition for the role. So then it's a slight against Heather.
Right.
So Heather's right in this situation. Taylor's not going about this right at all. But Heather's attitude towards Taylor, it hits the exact same note as that Malibu County drama that happened, where she feels like she should be so far above all of the other housewives in terms of acting.
I cannot watch those clips of everyone being like, they called me too. They called me too. They called me too. And Heather being like, it's for a different role. Like, it's so cringe. I can't watch it.
Yes, exactly. And they show that clip.
Yeah.
So Taylor then goes, so I've never really looked at her IMDb. Let's open up IMDb right now. So basically they had an app on their phone. They look it up and they were doing sort of what we were
so shady.
Right. But this is drama I can get behind. I mean, looking at someone's actual IMDb and making fun of it, that's rude.
Like one episode. One episode
of Jenny. They were doing what we were saying last week. One episode of Charlie's in Charge.
Hot in Cleveland.
Yeah, Malibu Country or whatever. Like, they are just talking shit.
Yeah.
Life's Too Short or whatever that one. Not Life's Too Short.
Right.
It's My Life or whatever.
Yeah.
It ran 22 episodes or whatever. So they're talking shit. Tamara's like, she hasn't done anything since the 1990s.
Yeah.
That's awful to say, too.
I know. The second it started, I was like, you guys, you're going to get in trouble.
Oh, like, this is bad. And it's the one thing that actually brings out Heather's... I'd say non-performative energy.
Yeah, like
this is
anger.
actually something that Heather gets really
Totally.
mad about.
She hasn't been this mad since that
Kelly.
they brought up that, and then when the lawsuit against Terry got brought up.
Right. Yeah, that was I felt that was a little performative when she was like cameras down and stuff. I thought that was a little
Well,
fake.
the one when she's like, she gets mad at Shannon for bringing it up, and she's like, that's not a threat, it's a promise. Like, I thought she was really pissed that time.
Yeah, I mean that was a strong threat, but that struck me as performative too, because it sounded like something a soap opera actor would say.
Okay.
But she was legitimately mad at Kelly when Kelly threw the C-bomb at her, and
sure.
when things get pretty dicey for Heather, she does try to shut down production. She's done it twice, which I don't think that you should do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they go over. They were talking so much shit. Then we hear that Malibu country thing where Tamara goes, I remember the Malibu country thing. They show that clip. And then we find out that not only did Gretchen and Alexis get offered the part, which is, this happened.
Yeah.
Gretchen got offered that part. Heather was so mad about it, but it's just, sorry, they were casting Housewives on the show. Tamara admits too that she was also asked to be on that. And I don't think she ever brought that up.
I don't think so, yeah.
She just let that just be there because Heather was just so pissed or whatever. And then they showed that clip, which you're right. It makes Heather look so bad. Mine was a different part, she says. Which is like, why can't you just admit that they also got asked to do that role?
It's upsetting. I don't know why I have like a small little benefit of the doubt for her in that, not that she's better than anyone else, but that she takes her acting career seriously, and then for it to be mixed in with housewife cameos would be sad for you if you were trying to differentiate yourself as, some of them are businesswomen, some of them are stay-at-home moms or whatever, and like her thing is that she's an actress, and then when it gets just muddled into being like, yeah, they would have any dumb bitch from any franchise do it, like that's kind of sad.
But not to give like Lisa Rinna any credit in the world ever, but Lisa Rinna was also an actor, and if you like on a bunch of stuff, right, her credits are probably similar to Heather. She was an actor before. I don't think she would ever be like, well, Kyle's an actor too, but whatever. Hypothetically, another Beverly Hills cast member, she'd never treat them like that. She'd never be like, oh, I've been in all these things, so I can't imagine why Erica Jane was ever called to be like. Erica Jane's not an actor, but if Erica Jane got asked to be on a show, Lisa Rinna would never lord over her acting career. It's kind of, and they have, I would almost say, similar filmographies.
Right.
They're not so different. Heather was not killing it.
Right.
So
anyway, for sure.
Just something to think about.
Yeah. It's just hard to watch when someone like clearly wants to hold themselves to a certain standard and it just gets like squashed and you're like, oh, this is like cringe.
I mean, that's how I feel with almost all Heather scenes.
Yeah.
They're cringe.
Yeah.
Her holier than thou attitude makes any thing that she like that makes her look lame. Anytime she looks lame, she feels it so hard because she never lets herself look
facade,
lame. Shannon can look lame all the time because it's almost part of her brand, and she's so much more fun for it.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, it's the uptightness is like
it makes her like
crazy.
fall so much harder. So then I think I don't know about our sequence or whatever, but I think now we're in the getting ready for the plane.
It was lost in the sauce. I see where it was now.
I'm so sorry. I never want to be right in instances like that, but I just that was my favorite. That was my second favorite scene. I got
confused because the notes later about the movie because it comes back around.
Yeah.
So I was like, thought it was further, but
I just want to apologize now.
You won this round.
Then they're getting ready for this goddamn trip.
Missoula. Did you notice they have to go to? That was LAX they went to.
Yeah.
What a pain in the ass.
Oh, well, instead of Burbank.
Can't go to freaking John Wayne.
Oh.
They're in Orange County.
Oh, right. I didn't even think about that. I thought we were in Los Angeles for a second. Yeah.
I always think about that.
Rough.
They like for all the big trips have to go to LAX. And I'm like, oh God.
Oh yeah.
So far away.
Oh yeah. That's bad. This stuff is really boring. I mean, if we want to get through, Heather films them on the plane because production probably asked her to, and she gets nothing from any of the cast members.
Small plane.
Yeah. Nothing is fun about it.
Shannon's like hooting and hollering about the takeoff. She can like never chill the fuck out. She's like, oh, boo.
Oh, I identify with Shannon. That's me. I start to hold Megan's hand whenever we start to take off from planes. I am so scared of
I don't like takeoff. I don't like landings.
I am so happy for landings. I'm like, get me down on the ground.
They're usually better than I think they're going to be. I always think it's going to be so violent.
Some are.
Yeah. My favorite is early Beverly Hills when Kyle is in her Jewish era and she's holding the Zohar and she's just clutching the like Jewish I don't know what the Zohar is. I don't know that much about Judaism, but I assume it's a holy book of some kind, and she's just clutching it on the private jet.
So how Kyle acts on planes is unfortunately how I act on planes.
Okay. Will you take a Xanny?
I know no one will prescribe me any. They're afraid I'm going to become addicted to Xanny bars. I do have a beta blocker now, though.
Okay.
But they don't work. They make your body physically calm, like calmer than it should be, but my brain is still going, I'm going to die right now. It's the worst of both worlds. It's like
and then
my
you're
body
freaking out about your body not working.
Yeah, I can barely take a beta blocker without also being scared of the effects it'll have on my body. Anyway, that's
sad.
That's me for you.
Yeah, I gave I don't know if I should say this, if the feds are going to come for me, but
let's just say if you're a federal agent or a member of the FBI or law enforcement, do not listen to.
If you're the DEA,
do not listen to the next 30 seconds. Right?
Yeah.
Can we just say that and then tune back in 30 seconds?
I have emergency Xannies that I stole from Jimmy's prescription. I'm just like putting him on blast right now.
As a Xanny bar user?
He doesn't even take them as the thing. So they're just a stash for emergencies.
I would like that too. Why can't I just have a stash of Xannies?
Yeah, it's nice I only take them when I'm in like a true deep panic, like in I took them during like one of our cats' like medical emergencies where I was having like a full mental breakdown. But otherwise I don't really take them. And then my dad had some, but he stopped taking them because if you haven't heard, they cause Alzheimer's. Don't take them a lot.
They do.
Yeah. Have you seen that clip of Oprah finding that out?
No, is it?
I'll play it for you.
Is she shocked?
She's interviewing someone. It's a doctor of some kind, and they're talking about like effects of certain drugs or whatever. And he goes, and as you know, all what are those called? Like,
I don't know.
Whatever, like
are they opiates?
Benzos or whatever it is. I might be wrong. Sorry, you guys. That's right. He goes, they all cause Alzheimer's, and she goes, he's like, as we all know, and she's like, we did not know that.
Whoa.
And she was like, what do you mean? And he was like, oh yeah, like the research is in, like everybody knows that. And she goes, you can just see her like looking off, like fuck.
So she was probably on a Xanny bar right then.
Yeah. I watched a video of her. I know everything about Oprah, but she talks about how her dog Luke, who's a golden retriever, has Xannies for flying because he doesn't like flying. Oof. And so sometimes she takes them. So she calls Xannies Luke's pills.
Oh, that's cute. Like a little code.
Yeah.
George Michael, my dog, is also now horrendous with any travel. So he takes trazodone, which is humans can take it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not in the Xanny family. I was going to ask, because the DEA is not listening, so I can ask this. Is it illegal for me to pay Jimmy for extra Xanny bars?
I think that would be a drug deal.
Oh. Technically or... Okay.
Literally.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, the DEA minute is over. You guys come back in, boys. Start listening to Turtle Time again.
We should go down to Rosarito. Except now everything has fucking fentanyl in it.
Oh, wait. Rosarito, you can get Xannies?
You can get whatever you want down there, baby.
Really? Oh, okay.
But you might die.
I wouldn't want any fentanyl in my Xanny bars. All right. Well,
but yeah, the long story short is I went to Italy with my family in December, and my dad like did not sleep on the plane. And I gave him on the way back my illicit Xannies, and he was snoring on the plane, and he felt like $1 million after. So
that sounds so nice.
Sometimes we all just need a little Xanny.
So if you only use them infrequently, if you use
like if you're not, I mean, first of all, to me, I just pass the fuck out. Like, I don't know how people use them recreationally because I just fall asleep.
That sounds so good. If I was on a plane and I just fell asleep and woke up and I had landed, I want a Xanny bar so bad right now. You're allowed to give
paint a picture. This is like such an illicit conversation, but
is it?
I'm like, paint a picture to a doctor about how you like had a panic attack.
He says he doesn't want me on them because they are so habit forming, and he thinks beta blockers are good enough.
But he can't give you like 4.
Yeah, give me a little bit. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, my doctor, if you're listening, I love you so much, and hopefully this conversation can be used towards getting me a small amount of Xanny bars.
I just watched. Sorry to be tangent, but I watched the latest John Mulaney special after his rehab.
Oh, it was great.
He talked about how you need to find that insane doctor
Oh.
that all you have to do is take your top off and he'll give you pills.
That's what I was thinking about when you were talking about your chiropractor in the back house. I was going to reference that John Mulaney special. Oh, it was so good. I loved it.
It was like a bummer though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
was a
wasn't
bummer.
even particularly funny. It was kind of just sad.
Yeah, I mean, I liked his high profile intervention stuff, and
Yeah.
that was good because I believe
I wanted
it.
the details is what
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
as celebrity gossip.
He was a little more. I saw that live for the first time when he was workshopping his
Uh-huh.
event. Like it was like his first show back, and he was a little more explicit with who the people were and like
Uh-huh.
what they said. He cleaned it up for the
Okay.
masses.
I'll look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
They get to Missoula, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a flop era.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you going bunkhouse or villa if you get there?
I would have done what Tamara did and raced back to the car and said, "Driver,
Do they
run
have
away."
to call it the bunkhouse? Like that sounds so shitty.
And then Jen and Gina just accept the fact that they're the bunk bed people, right? They're just like, we know
They're
we're getting
like, we're
this.
bunk.
Yeah, we're bunk. Oh, and then we didn't say, but Emily got
Oh,
COVID,
right.
and so she can't come, which that's a bummer for me. Emily's
Yeah.
my favorite cast member. I would have loved to see her in Montana. That was a flop.
That's a total loss.
That made Montana even more of a flop. And
Totally.
then Gina says something that made me angry, which was that I'm going to room with Jen in the bunkhouse because I need to get over these negative feelings for Jen. It's like, first of all, this is a one-person journey that you're on by yourself that no one cares about and no one's on it with you.
Right.
And also, you're only telling us, basically, that you have these feelings. You need to, I'm sorry, you need to get over that.
Totally.
Jen doesn't need to do anything
No.
to make you feel better about her. She has been fine.
Yeah.
I thought
no,
that was
so annoying.
Yeah.
And then at the villa, they're choosing rooms, and Shannon is just like so low energy and out of it. And they keep everyone's trying to accommodate her and get her excited. And she's just like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then they're like, look, this room has a view of the lake. So pretty. And she goes, Zika.
She said Zika? Oh, I didn't even hear that. And then she doesn't want to sit in that room that's next to Tamara's because it's like
Nobody
more
wants that
outside.
room because it has too much glass.
Oh yeah, and then
Taylor
does not
ultimately
want that.
doesn't want it either. She goes to the bunk.
This was basically just the equivalent of them trying on cowboy hats. It's like,
Yeah.
just figure out your rooms. It's fun on Roni when Ramona's running around trying to get the best room and there's so much chaos. This
Yeah.
was not chaos.
No,
It was
because
just,
no one really cared that much. Like even Heather was like, I'll do whatever room. So
yeah.
it
And
wasn't.
Jen and Gina were just like, yeah, we're bunk mates. I mean,
Yeah.
this wasn't as fun as they thought it was.
No. And then they're about to go out and they're like, Shannon, are you ready? And she's like, I'm not done with my makeup yet. I need a minute. Like she's acting like they had like a gun to her head and they were like, it's fine. Like we'll wait. And she's like, no, I don't want you to wait. Like she was acting like it was the most stressful scenario of all time.
And I thought Vacation Shannon is fun, Shannon.
right. Summer should be fun.
Right. Summer should be fun. So I think Shannon is not her typical Vacation Shannon's.
Something's
self.
going on. I was like, can you please, God, calm the fuck down?
Yeah. Then Tamara has to drive this buggy with Heather to
Yeah.
their destination, and Heather rightfully doesn't want to get in the car with Tamara.
Yeah.
And then they show the worst thing I think I've ever seen
It's
in Housewives
scary.
history. What could have been 4 deaths.
Oh God.
Two.
It's really intense.
It's awful. It is awful. And the way Tamara was driving,
yeah.
like a bat out of hell on those dunes,
Yeah.
is sickening.
Yeah.
I can't even look at it.
Kelly's freaking helmet flies off.
She could have been so hurt.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
they
her
were
neck
so
could have
hurt.
snapped.
They were so hurt. Vicky and Tamara were the most hurt, right? And then Kelly and Heather were the ones that were like sort of saved by their
Right.
positioning.
I
Right?
mean, ultimately, there was no actual injury, ultimately, right?
Vicky
Like,
was fucked up. Tamara was fucked up.
but like, did they break a bone?
I don't think they broke. I mean, whiplash, whatever. That stuff
For sure.
hurts. Like
No, but I mean,
physical.
it could have been so much worse.
So much worse. I mean, production, that must be a nightmare. That must be up there with the, what was the Colombia trip where they're coming back on that boat?
Cartagena.
Cartagena. That's probably their worst nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
That was their worst nightmare. But this was a close second.
That boat. That's the funniest shit I've
They
ever
all
seen.
almost sued production.
Yeah.
You know. They almost
They
were
were
like,
screaming,
Yeah.
crying, throwing up, shitting their pants.
shit. I mean, I would be
That
shitting my
footage
pants.
is unbelievable.
I can't believe it. We're going to do Roni someday. I know we are, right?
Yeah, we have to do the top worst boat moments.
Yeah,
because
for
there's
sure.
a lot, including when Bethany got lost at sea on Bethany Ever After.
Yeah, oh my, I don't even remember that moment. I love Bethany Ever After so much. When did she get lost at sea?
They go on a couple's boat trip with her therapist and I think one other couple, and he gets fucking lost. Like their GPS breaks and they spend like the night like sloshing around in a sailboat, and it's so funny because it's just actually happened.
Yeah. That's wild. Bethany Ever After is also the so amazing just for the disillusion of her and Jason's marriage. They start from the honeymoon bliss stage, and by the third season, they are fighting all the time. They hate each other. Like you see their full arc of their marriage on that show.
Yeah. When they're fighting outside the helicopter, deciding whether to get on.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
All right, and then some real boring stuff happens. Mechanical bulls.
You don't think Mechanical Bull is so fun?
They just love the juxtaposition of the housewives in this, but they've already done it.
Yeah.
Why would you put them on a mechanical?
Flashback to the DuBrow Ranch party.
Some producer didn't remember, hey, we've already seen most of these people on
there's
bulls before.
Housewives tropes. Mechanical Bull.
Is it on other franchises?
Freezing, what's it called? Cryotherapy.
Mm-hmm. The two newbies fighting with each other on the first season to see who can become dominant. That is the biggest trope in Housewives history.
Gatsby party.
Murder
mystery party.
Oh, psychics. Tea leaves. Now they're trying to even branch out from psychics and make it like tea leaf experts and
horoscope.
It's like they should never have another psychic related thing in Housewives. I mean, right? Don't you think it's been done to goddamn death?
Yeah. New Jersey did that this time, and they accused it of being a setup.
That was actually the funniest one because she verbatim said what Jen had said last season.
Yeah.
Right?
What was it? It was about...
Jen said, you look like... the tea leaf person says, you look like someone who gets a lot of endorsements. I'm seeing here that you actually do have a lot of endorsements. And
that was
Margaret had said exactly that.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was hilarious.
That was great. Okay, but this is a flop era.
All right, so they're doing the Mechanical Bull, all these women. Tamara always wants to be very sexual.
Yeah, she's like, it's my vagina.
Shannon says that it's two vagina. Then Tamara says, do you have a meaty vagina?
Yeah, they're like, do you ride Eddie like that? Like, just any joke you could make about sex in the Mechanical Bull is made there. Yep. And then it's dinner time.
Yep. Ring the dinner bell.
Ding, 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 ding. Let's see them eat dinner. We get to see them eat a bunch of dinner. They choose between various meats. They choose sausages. Gina makes a wiener joke. She makes a dismissive comment about Jen sharing wieners because Ryan is so sexually active. It's like a groaner, completely awful.
Yeah. But we get a bombshell.
Well, yeah, but Tamara sets it up in such an inorganic way, unsubtle.
Is there anything that we wouldn't know about you? Tell us something we don't know.
Yeah. Hey, this dinner is so boring, and so far we've had a really boring trip. Let's just say something that's dramatic about ourselves that someone doesn't know. And then Taylor does. Yeah, she drops a bomb, which I had no clue.
I didn't know either. I don't think anyone did.
5 years in a relationship with another woman before Russell.
Yeah.
And
that's
then
crazy.
she claims bisexual as her identity or her sexual orientation, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, I don't know how that never came up like during the Russell years.
I think Russell was just so much of a cloud that all energy was related to that marriage, and this just didn't come up.
The darkest moments in Housewives history.
Also, by far, and also it's the second season of Beverly Hills, so honestly, like it's very early. It's almost like the inciting incident.
Totally,
and it happened.
Remember when Kyle has to not let them enter the white party because he threatened a lawsuit against was it Lisa?
Yeah,
and she's like shaking, crying because she doesn't want to ask them to leave because it's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
And so then they all gather around out front and say, like, we can't have you here. And it's so uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable. Yeah, that's,
And you're like, don't let her go home with him. Like, her night's going to be so bad. Like, she shouldn't go home with him.
Yes. Well, I mean, the whole Russell Taylor thing is almost too dark to where it's not even fun to talk about.
No.
And I didn't enjoy Taylor in the first 4 seasons. I thought she was, but now I just look back on it and I'm like, you were in like a hellish marriage, and she seems so beyond that era now. I actually am enjoying Taylor. So far, I think she's kind of fun and like a stable presence, and not being overly performative or faking any drama. She just seems like she
Yeah.
genuinely wants to like hang out with these people, which I like.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, obviously Heather's coming at her throat, but I think generally all the housewives in Beverly Hills and otherwise really like her
Yeah.
currently.
Yes.
And she's an OG kind of, and when she was on Watch What Happens Live, you're like, oh, you've like been here, like you know how this works. She wore a jumpsuit and a high pony, which anyone who knows Andy, those are his two favorite things. So I've always thought about if I went to the clubhouse, I would honor that wish.
That would be so fun.
I don't have long enough hair to do a high pony.
What
but
could I wear?
maybe you could do the same.
Okay. What'd you say? A jumpsuit
jumpsuit
and a high pony?
Yeah.
I
Maybe
would love to do
pigtails,
that.
like Margaret.
If he doesn't comment it on it, would we say something like, Andy, do you see what we're wearing?
Yeah. You should. There was it on that episode, or I watched a bunch in a row, but that guy from TikTok that does the Seventh Heaven recaps was the bartender, and he wore overalls with nothing under.
Cool. Were the straps covering his nipples?
I think so.
Okay. That's where I would put the coveralls or the overalls if I was wearing them. I would make sure those straps
Great.
cover my nipples. Then Jen shares something from her past. I didn't write
Flight
it down.
attendant.
Oh, right. She was a flight attendant.
And she met her ex-husband on a flight, and they all tried to immediately turn it into her being a whore. Like, was he in first class? Like,
Yeah.
And she was just like, no.
Yeah. She goes, he was in economy. And then Gina says something which I also found very annoying, which Jen is being like she's been for the past 4 episodes, just normal and nice and honest. And Gina goes, I need more of this Jen. This
Yeah, what
is
are you
the
even
Jen,
talking about?
This is the Jen I like. It's like Jen just has been the same the entire time.
Yeah, like
This is
she
so
was already
indicative-
talking about her adopted son. Like she already opened up. What are you talking about?
This is very indicative of how Jen has behaved the entire time. I'm sorry that you are late to the Jen party and you're trying to, like, don't talk about her anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I feel defensive on her behalf
Me
because
too.
she is not a damsel. Like she stands up for herself, but she's new, and it's like, dude, leave her alone. I really do think she thinks she's going to take her spot, which she should.
Yes, she's a great first season cast member. First season cast members, that's the biggest flop era you can ever have.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to appear. You don't know how you come off in scenes. Jen is doing a great job.
No, she's good because, as we said last time, she's firmly tied in with Tamra in
Yes.
an organic way, which is rare these days. And we, despite the fact that we don't care about her cheating, that's an interesting launch point, that there's like this relationship dynamic of having an ex who lives elsewhere and a new boyfriend that she met while she was still with her husband and an adopted son. Like there's a lot going on to bite onto. Yes. Which is fun.
Yes, for sure. For me as well. And so anytime Gina is talking about her, it's just like, hey, we're not on your side with this one. This is a
I'm
lone
like,
battle.
you are a flop. I don't care about your real estate exams. I don't care about your like shitty house, your felon ex. I don't care about anything.
And your war on Jen, who's actually a nice, normal person. Then Shannon does something a little odd, which is she fakes that someone didn't show up to watch her kids, and so she has an emergency
she
on her
starts like
hands.
running through the prairie, and they all bite onto that comment as they just start talking shit. Like it can be a storyline of like, why isn't John watching your kids? And you're just like, you guys don't waste your breath. It's fake. Just shut up.
They immediately go into how can we make this provocative and dramatic? Let's talk shit about John. Let's talk shit about the kids. Like, yeah. And then Shannon, but why did Shannon have
Why
to
didn't
go
she just
early?
say she was going to the bathroom?
Yeah.
She wanted to surprise them in her saloon outfit.
Yeah, I guess the payoff of that to like leave early just so she can dress
Because
like
she's fucking silly. She wanted to be like top of the morning.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Did you notice the shot glasses?
No. What were they?
Little cowboy boots.
Oh, that is
like
so.
on Summer House.
Oh, that is so cute. So then Shannon says in her confessional, she's like, hey, I'm just putting on a cool outfit, so don't mind me. And then she goes to a saloon, and then they all, I think another trope that, because we were talking about housewife tropes, is when 2 people are away or one person is away who's powerful, they all have to talk about what they're doing because they're self-conscious that the cameras are on them and what they're doing is not as fun. So it makes them seem really lame. Like the fact they're all so concerned about Shannon that they can't just have fun on their own, it makes me... I am aware how self-conscious they are that they're not providing enough drama.
Right.
I don't know. To
Yeah,
me,
they're
that's
like,
a
should
trope.
we go to the saloon?
Like it just following the other ones, making sure that like they're sort of jealous that the cameras are on them for a second. It's always kind of I don't know, it gives me flop vibes.
Yeah.
So then they ask, is Shannon lost? And then they go to a saloon, and Shannon is wearing my only reference is like a Deadwood costume, like an old
Like
Wild
a
West
saloon performer
Yeah.
woman.
And what and is Celine her name is Shannon, and she's at a saloon. Shannon is a costume person. Is that a part of her identity? Is that why
she did the she was part
Guns
of the
N'
drag
Roses.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did,
where she did the male drag, and then I feel like she likes doing like rocker a lot of the time. I'm trying to think if there are any other ones.
But I don't identify her as like a costume person, so I didn't know why she needed to be the one who dressed up like a old
Right.
saloon bartender. It just seemed
It was weird.
and it was inorganically created because she had to leave early by giving fake drama. Anyway, she starts to serve them a bunch of alcohol.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Right. Like
Tequila.
it's an empty saloon
Yeah.
with a bunch of
I know. I was like,
taxidermy.
how is this different than you guys just going back to the villa or whatever?
Right. And then I feel like there is pressure on this scene. This is my like fourth wall breaking, that they know, okay, it's time to get drunk. We are only fun when we're drunk. Like they feel that way. And I'm not saying that's the case, because they do like 3 shots within 2 minutes,
Yeah.
Tamra and Shannon. And then they squash their beef again.
Right.
Shannon and Tamra.
Yeah.
Right.
She said, I love you. I wrote down Dos Amigas.
Oh, right.
And then, of course, it immediately gets awkward of Taylor and Heather talking about the role again. And Heather's being kind of a bitch immediately up
Yes.
front. Like, she's like, I do not want to, instead of just being like nice and being like, I was just confused because, she basically like scolded her instead of just being like, sorry, I just had no idea what was going on, because usually the process is different.
Yes.
Like she immediately was like, meh.
Yes, she's right about the process. Taylor flopped on the casting process,
Yeah.
but she's handling it so arrogantly
Yeah.
that it's hard to root for her. And then, right when they go back to the group after having they come to a reconciliation a little bit, and then Taylor talks about it with Tamra, and Taylor goes, well, did you talk about the part where the producer needs a audition from them?
The
And then-
casting tape.
yeah, and then Heather is it's game
Heather's
over.
like, she's basically like cracking her knuckles like, are you fucking kidding me?
yeah, like I am ready to play. What the hell did that person say? She's like, first you offered me the role, then I turned it down, then
Now it's being rescinded.
now it's being rescinded. Now I need a tape for it. What the hell is going on?
It's very funny though that Heather has decided that she should be offer only.
Oh, right. No. I was.
I'm like, what world are you living in?
No, definitely not. I agree that the producer looked at her credits and said, I'm sorry, I would still need her to audition for this role.
Right.
But
also what a lot of it is miscommunication, where Taylor didn't say that it was a meatier role than what Taylor was doing.
yes.
So
Taylor is offering a bigger role than she actually has in this, and
yeah,
so they would
but
require a
again,
little
why
more.
is she offering it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the hell Taylor is doing, how she thinks casting works.
She kept
but
it kept being like misunderstanding, where Taylor was like, someone at your pedigree. She was clearly trying to say, you've done a lot, someone of your stature or your experience. And Heather's like, pedigree? What am I, a dog? And it's like, bitch, you know what she was saying.
yeah, for real.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, she was just searching for a word to talk about. She said the reason why we looked up your IMDb at that steak dinner was because Taylor was shocked that Heather would have to audition, so she wanted to look at her IMDb, which I'll give Taylor credit. That was a good way to say why you looked at her IMDb. That was actually pretty crafty. It made sense. And then Tamara goes, well, come on. Why won't you just admit? I have to clear the air here. Taylor was talking horrible shit about your IMDb, which that was awful of Tamara. Good for the scene for sure, but awful of Tamara to say
Tamara
that.
is always be producing.
Yes. Yep. She definitely is. I just want to make a note that Gina continues the biggest flop era of her life by offering the worst synopsis of the Heather and Taylor fight by saying, I didn't even write it down because it was so stupid. It was like they're fighting about one person having no film experience and the other person's asking like you're taking the acting like you're taking the Oscar away like you're Judi Dench. It was like a confessional that made absolutely
And I was
no
like,
sense.
what are you talking about? And I was like, Judi Dench was an interesting choice. Like, what movie of Judi Dench do you think she likes?
Yeah,
Philomena?
Yeah, I'm not sure at all. Gina just had to get her 2 cents in there, and they thought that was worth adding. Heather gets so mad when she legitimately mad when she finds out that Taylor was talking shit.
I mean, it was as bad as it sounds.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they were talking shit. They were talking about the
going
longevity.
line by line, which is horrifying. Like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, if someone did that to you, that'd be very embarrassing.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was very bad. They touched on the one issue that Heather would hate more than life itself. I felt like I'm not fully like against Taylor for judging Heather's IMDb because I'm also sort of skeptical of her acting career, but it is the one hot button that would make Heather the maddest. So I'm actually on Heather's side too. It's like this is a perfect dramatic storyline for me because I'm on
storms.
Perfect storms. Exactly. And then Heather goes into I'll say a tirade against Taylor, saying that her career suffered because she chose to focus on her family. So saying that
she chose to be very high and mighty. She was like, as a mother, I had to sacrifice my career as many women do.
Yeah. And she goes, so actually what you said is perfectly anti-female and also I'll add so incredibly rude. And she just finally says, and now I have to officially say to you with all of my force, fuck you.
Yeah. Shocking.
Right. I mean, Heather...
Has she ever said fuck you to anyone?
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get Heather to utter fuck.
I have a feeling it'll be resolved pretty quickly.
Well,
next episode.
They already showed them laughing and smiling in the next week, but that was a legitimate fight where I was on the sides of both, and I actually thought Heather came across like I know she gets mad about IMDb stuff
for sure.
So that felt genuine.
Totally. And then at the end they showed the preview from next week, and Tamra pulls out a zinger about how Ryan, when he first joined the gym, he said something like mark my words, and pointed at Tamra and was like, I'm gonna fuck her.
So was Tamra saying I'm gonna fuck her about Jen?
I thought it was about Tamra.
So yeah, I saw that too. Tamra tells the group, I have bad feelings about Ryan because he walked in the gym one day and said, I'm gonna fuck her. But I don't know if he meant...
You monster.
I thought he might mean, I'm gonna fuck Jen.
Well, he did.
Right. So yeah, he said what he did. He did what he said he was gonna do. But I thought that made Tamra upset because she knew that he had his guns blazing for Jen.
Okay.
If it's about Tamra, that's a whole other story.
That's how I read it, but we'll revisit.
Yeah, we'll revisit.
Okay. Yeah, I hope that Ryan doesn't turn out to be a monster.
I don't know. I usually have a good sense of the stinkers versus people who are genuinely good people, and I don't get the stinker vibes from him.
Right.
I guess cheater vibes, but maybe he's ready to pack in his cheater persona.
Yeah. All right. Well...
Yeah, I mean, I think we called it. I mean, it was a bad episode for maybe 5 minutes of entertainment. I mean, Montana trip so far was a flop and not fun.
Yeah.
And they spent way too much time getting ready for a trip that so far is not fun.
Yeah. It's also like, I feel like ranch trips are becoming a trope at this point, and they all made it very clear that they're not nature girlies. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, then don't go on a trip like that. Like,
yeah, they love that.
I'm not that into I mean, I guess that's what Crappy Lake is going to be, but it gets a little tired of just like women being like, mud is gross.
I know.
Like, I hate bugs.
Yeah, it's a trope.
I'm like, just go to like Palm Springs then, or like Miami. I don't care.
Just do they do the same thing too often. They've been to the ranches.
Glamping.
Yeah.
But,
all right, well,
I would love to go there. So,
do you think Orange County has the chance where it'll get better?
I hope so.
Me too. For our sake and for Bravo's sake, I hope so. I hope Andy wouldn't lie to us about how
Yeah.
good it is.
Well, we can always ditch it for Roni in a few weeks.
That would be so great. If we're like, okay, we're no longer talking about OC. Next week, I guess programming wise, our schedules we're having a holiday.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a pause on OC and talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, which, spoiler alert, I'm on the 4th episode of the new season.
Okay.
I actually think it's pretty great.
Okay.
I love this cast. Spoiler alert.
Fun.
I love this cast, and I was so happy that the same cast from last season carried over because I actually really loved last season's cast too. I didn't think Atlanta was in its flop era last season.
Great.
So-
I need to re-watch some episodes because I watch it pretty casually.
Okay.
Since we haven't been talking about it. I just watch it, kind of while I'm drooling and looking at my phone and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm caught up, but I'll run back through.
Sonya is like the Jen of Atlanta, where she is like the best new cast member they've had in so long, where I legitimately love watching her
An
and everything she
Olympian.
does. Huh?
An Olympian.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be in our Atlanta era next week, and then we'll go back to our regular scheduled programming, and then maybe fit Atlanta in organically with OC in New York. I mean, it's just a Bravo time we're having here.
For sure. Yeah, and we'll be we're going to tape a little early next week, so we'll have over the holiday week we'll be rested and restored. But probably not. We'll probably be hungover and tired.
I'm gonna pull a Rip Van Winkle and
You're gonna sleep the whole time.
Yeah, 5 days of sleep
I
and
would
see if I
love
feel
that.
better. Could you imagine?
Oh my god, I feel like I need that.
Don't you think we should be able to hibernate?
Yes. Remember when Kramer on Seinfeld tried to do the Da Vinci way where you sleep for 15 minutes at a time?
I don't remember that, but I already can see the humor from that, where you just take cat naps.
Yeah, and
That's
he just
really
loses
funny.
his mind.
Yeah, I could never do that. I'm already so tired, and I got 8 hours of sleep. Okay, well, let's end this goddamn shit. Do you think we did good?
I think so. I mean, it's
I'm a little
2
shocked.
hour 45.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked and surprised and a little mad, I'll say, that this was 2 hours and 45 minutes, but whatever, that's par for the
We
course.
can't be stopped.
We are a wrecking ball.
If we didn't do the taglines, maybe we could have gotten it under, but
And we should definitely keep that tagline talk in, right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was good. All right. Okay, we love you all so much. Amy and I are going to continue to record another Patreon episode, right?
That's right. Kisses.
All right.
We're not kissing. We're kissing you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. No. I'm sorry. We are kissing our mics, not each other.
Delete the file.